Remember, you're listening to nothing but the best.
Get ready for an unforgettable experience. Are you ready? Five, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Let's get hype.
Welcome, Cowboys Nation, to another episode of the Late Night Hype Show. We have a special guest in the building, 105.3 The Fans, Jeff Cavanaugh, or as you guys know him now, Mr. 40 Burger, coming up. We're going to talk about the draft because you know he goes deep diving into the draft. But before that, let's party! Hey, Jeff, you got to show him the special guest that you showed us before the show, though. Yeah, bring that other guest in here, Jeff. Bring that other guest in here before we show the face.
Game James, you know, they say that about James because one time back at Arkansas, it was SEC time, there was a James, he's big, he had a game, and that was a big game, and here he is, a big game James, and Skywalker's here, and so here we go.
Oh, man, classic.
They caught the end of that big game.
Hey, pull
James
it off.
there.
Just don't show a face. Just say the voice, and you're going to get money.
They caught the tail
Yo,
end of the
Jerry
big game,
Wayne.
James. That was Jerry
Joe.
Wayne Jones in the building. But right now, we got Jeff Cavanaugh, y'all, in the building, 105.3 The Fan. What's up, Jeff?
I'm rocking and rolling. It is an honor and a privilege to be here. I know you guys are hoping that I'll say something stupid so we can go viral. You guys are on a roll right now. Living high on the hog after that, after the Georgia Loca thing went
Yeah, that was kind of
bonkers.
crazy.
It went crazy.
Yeah,
It's
no.
crazy what 1 minute and 49 seconds can do for you.
Yeah, and now I know what you guys are doing now. Yeah,
Yeah.
you think I'll say something? Yeah, you think I'll say something stupid? I know what's happening.
Wait for you to slip up a little bit.
Yeah, I know what's happening here.
I love it. Love it.
Oh, man. How the panel doing? Law Nations, Silver Blue Nation, Big Game. What's up, man? How y'all doing tonight?
Oh man!
Hey,
it
man,
feels
we're doing
like
great.
good.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah. No, just
mean,
every day.
okay.
Look, every day is getting closer to the season. I'm ready to hit something.
Being
How about you, though? You know.
Yeah, well, we might be hitting
Positive.
some, but we're going to be hitting it from the internet because we ain't going to games.
Hey.
Oh, so you one of those? You one of those?
I
people?
am one of
Huh?
them. Let's keep it real.
Come on, bro.
I'm going to leave it
down.
alone. That's another subject.
Slow it down. We're not going to do that, okay, Jeff? I don't know where you're at with that, Jeff, but I'm trying to be positive about the situation.
Sounds very political to me. I'm not going to touch that.
Yeah, that's not the kind of viral we want to go, okay?
No, we don't want to
Oh,
do
we're
that.
not going that viral. Okay.
Okay, yeah, let's leave that alone, man.
Shout out to everybody that's in the chat right now. It's already booming early. We barely even started. Thank you guys for being here. We're going to try to have a quick, good show for you guys. Jeff won't be here the whole entire time. We'll do our segment with Jeff, and then we'll move forward with the rest of the show. But with that said, let's kind of just hop right into it because, listen, I come to you, Jeff, when it comes to the fans, the fans fan in regards to the draft, right? You are able to give us, your take on the drafted players or the prospects in a way that I can understand, where it's not totally scout talk. And I love broadness, right? But
shots fired at Broadus. That's real
No,
messed
no,
up.
no,
man.
no, no. I love Broadus.
he said, came right out there and said,
Right
bow,
out the
bow, shin shots.
But
there goes Brothers coming on the show.
you give
Yep,
it
got to
to
get
us.
Brothers now. He got to defend. He got to defend himself.
I'm gonna tell you secrets about Broadus too. That man holds a grudge. You'll never live this one down.
Well, listen, I've listened to him and Mickey for years, so I know those little shots he be throwing.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, we just want to pick your brain about this draft here. So big game or law, if you want to kind of go right into it and
All right, let's just talk about it. 40 burgers. Let's just off rip. You need to trademark that damn name for
bro.
real. Bro, you should trademark that name because you will be rich right now, okay?
That was a mistake. That was a mistake. And that's one of those. I have a terrible memory, so I don't know if I came up with it or not. I'll be honest.
Well, who
think-
cares? We all think of you when you say
Right.
it. When we hear 40 burgers, we hear you, so you run with it.
Yeah, I think it was at Not to Be Trite. My guy Mike White on Twitter, the other Mike White.
Okay.
I think he might have been the first
Mike
one.
White is cool. I like.
But
Mike
I pushed it hard, and
You
so I
did.
do
You
consider
pushed your
it.
super. Yeah,
I
it's
consider
half of yours.
myself, Hellman, and Mike White to be the three dads of the movement. And now I see you blogging the boys is out there hawking T-shirts. And you know what I have to say about that? God bless you. Get that right.
Not a cut or a percentage or anything.
Let me tell you
right?
something, Jeff. When we
Yeah.
kind of pushed that you were coming on the show, literally, a lot of people were saying, Mr. Team 40 Burgers
Team
coming
40
on the show.
burgers. That was coming out. Team
So,
40 burgers, big dog.
It's associated with you now, man.
I've
Yeah,
learned you got
stuck
to
with it.
come up with catchy things. Team
Yeah.
40 Burger and Captain Trade Down.
Law
Those
Nation
are
is
the things I went with.
Law Nation is the master of that. I don't have enough catchy things, but he's got a ton of them.
Yes,
sure.
indeed.
So
But,
what's up with this draft, man? What do you
yeah.
think about it? I mean, you was pushing it, Jeff. You and and Vosh Lombardi, y'all was pushing. You know, remember we had me, you, Law, and Bobby was on the show, and you were talking receiver. Hey, we get a receiver, boom. You were talking about a little bit of Mari thing, but it came to fruition. What do you think about CeeDee Lamb dropping here and the offense, all that good stuff? What's kind of your feeling with that?
I think you got to be really thankful for the teams who screwed it up before you.
Right.
So thank you to the 49ers for taking Javon Kinlaw, who I really like, but I thought they're going to take a wide receiver for sure. So thank you to them for not taking one. Thank you to the Broncos for taking the wrong receiver, and Henry Ruggs is the first receiver off the board.
Right.
And wait, no. That was
Raiders.
Oakland. Oh, that was Raiders, not Oakland.
Raiders, yeah.
Vegas
Then
Raiders.
Denver took the other receiver.
Yeah, Denver took Jerry
Extra
Jeudy.
Judy.
And even if it had played the other way, if Denver had taken CeeDee Lamb, I would have wanted Jerry Jeudy for the Cowboys over Caleb on Chason. To me, those two receivers, I don't have Henry Ruggs on that same sort of level as Jeudy and CeeDee Lamb.
He was my 3.
Right. He was my third guy. So when he went off the board, it was like, oh, sweet. All right. But I thought all three of them would go. And to see CeeDee Lamb be the one that didn't, I was shocked because that was one of those things where I would do, you play with the little simulators and you make videos. You say, here's mock draft version 73.4.
Right.
And CeeDee Lamb makes it to 17. And I'd be like, okay, hold on. We're going to restart this because that'll never happen. And you restart it and then it happened. And the Cowboys felt the same way. Their simulations, they weren't getting CeeDee Lamb on the team. And that was my thing is as we were leading up to the draft, everybody kept talking about, all right, but realistically, maybe Chase on or maybe, and you start naming all these other guys. And I wouldn't let it drop. I was like, but if one of those top 3 receivers is there, you better be willing to pick one. But I didn't think they would. So I'm proud of our little Cowboys. I'm proud of our little Cowboys for making the right decision. Passing game is king. And CeeDee Lamb was their 6th best player. He was my either 6th or 7th best player. To get him at 17 is just stupid value, and receivers an important position, so you take him.
So if CD wasn't there, would you lean on defense or were you all team offense altogether?
No, if CD was gone, I'm trying to picture the board at that point. I would have been okay with a Caleb on Chason pick. Okay. I thought he was kind of a boomer bust guy. And we'll see. Maybe that athleticism turns into a monster in the NFL, and maybe it doesn't. But to me, those top 2 receivers, CeeDee Lamb and Jerry Jeudy, they're so safe.
Oh my goodness!
Like it's high floor, high ceiling. It's everything that you want. And to have that was just a gift. And so A+ because they were willing to take it.
Let me put you right here. What skill set do you think that Jerry Jeudy have over CD Lamb, and what do CD Lamb have over Jerry Jeudy?
I think Jerry Jeudy is the better route runner. I think Jerry Jeudy, his footwork to just make people look silly when he's running routes, it's just it's amazing. It's outstanding. Whereas CD Lamb, I think they're both really good after the catch, but for different reasons. CD Lamb is just so smooth, and his lower body power is so good, and his balance is so good. So I think CD is the better go get my football guy. You know, you want him to turn around and do an Odell Beckham, one hand out here, no problem. CD Lamb is going to make bad throws work. He'll go get them. But Jerry Jeudy is just one of those guys. I'll give you my comps. So like Jerry Jeudy, when I watch him play, I think about Antonio Brown.
Wow.
That guy where it's like, he's not the 99th percentile athlete, but he just knows how to run routes, and he just knows how to set people up, and the way that he moves is just like that. I picture him as more of a guy that plays on the ground and not in the air, but just such a great route runner to get open. And CeeDee Lamb to me is DeAndre Hopkins. He's basically a clone of DeAndre Hopkins, where he's not huge and he's not a burner, but back shoulder ball belongs to him. Ball in the air belongs to him. One guy, not going to tackle him. He's that guy that's super dependable and good at everything. So that's just those two guys. That's who I see: Antonio Brown and DeAndre Hopkins, and I'll take either one.
Wow,
I definitely would take either one of them. And we were all surprised. We all did backflips and cartwheels. I mean, how can you get mad at you getting a CD Lamb? Because now you just sitting there thinking, you're curling your fingers like we were about to really get it in. So now you get a CD Lamb, and what's so good about it is you had probably Trayvon Diggs. They had him in other publications, Jeff, at being a first-round pick with the Cowboys. He falls to you in the second round. Ooh. How do you feel about that one?
That's my dog, bro. Boy.
It is so rare that the Cowboys, as they're going through a draft, that you say, "Hey Jeff, who would you pick?" And then you give a name, and then they pick him. It's very rare that happens.
Twice.
You know? Xavier Woods, Anthony Brown, Michael Gallup.
By the way, Jeff, credit to you for Xavier Woods. I watched that live draft, and you were championing that damn thing. Every time a pick came in, you kept saying Xavier Woods. I literally credited you for getting Xavier Woods.
Well, I mean, we had the secondary coach on because they had already taken Cheeto and Jordan.
Yeah.
Right. And I told him, I said, I know you guys don't have a pick coming up, so you're going to probably want to trade up here and get Xavier Woods. And then they did.
They did it.
It was great.
So shout out to you, fam.
Shout out to you.
So Trayvon Diggs, now technically he wasn't my best player available. He was my second best, which means it's a terrible pick. I actually liked Christian Fulton, the LSU corner.
I like him too.
A little better.
Why do you like him a little better?
Why that?
So I get what the Cowboys are thinking, because, and we'll probably talk about this later. We know what they're trying to do at corner now. They've made it very clear.
We're going to talk about it.
They made it very clear. So I get it. That's the route they went. And I mean, yeah, he could have easily gone in the first round. There's scenarios where maybe the Cowboys would have picked Trayvon Diggs at 17 if the right players are gone. So to have him at 51, and well, here's a little nugget for you. I don't know if you guys know this. They actually had Neville Gallimore graded ahead of Trayvon Diggs.
Yeah, we did hear that.
They loved Neville Gallimore, but whatever. They picked the better player. Trayvon Diggs is a better player. And so I liked it. I think it worked out so great, because that's another one that I went home after night one, as I think so many people did. And you're like, all right, first round's over. Let's run some simulations. Let's see who we can get. And the first one, Trayvon Diggs was available at 51. And I said to the people watching, I think I was doing a YouTube video, I said, obviously this one's not realistic. If it happens, I'll take Trayvon Diggs, but this isn't going to happen. And then it happens. Like, wow, okay.
Right.
So they probably got one of the 10 best players in the draft at 17, and they probably got one of the 30 best players in the draft at 51. And they probably got one of the 50 or 60 best players in the draft at 82. And so they were just cooking. It's like momentum was real in the draft, where Draft God was just like, you know what? You guys haven't been great the last few years. Let me just have things fall into your lap over and over and over. And so I like it. You know, no Byron Jones. They need bodies at corner with all the contracts that are about to be up and everybody about to be gone. And so that was best case scenario 2 rounds in a row.
Well, let's stay there at corner, right? We might as well. Let's not even move off of it. We'll come back to the third rounds and fourth and what have you. And let's stay there at corner because a lot is in the news right now, right? With the size thing, and then there was that video of our guy Boss Cowboy talking to Chris Harris, where Chris Harris says, "Oh, they didn't want me. They didn't want any guy under 6 foot." It's a real thing. I'm not saying this to end all be all, but it is absolutely real because not only are they saying it, right? Not like Rashard. Rashard was saying it, but the team wasn't doing anything about it. They told Rashard, you're going to have to work with Jordan Lewis, Anthony Brown, and Cheeto. The team went out, and there's a picture here I had posted, and they got about 5 or 6 guys that are 6 foot and over. That's not an accident, folks, right?
No, I mean, they all look like clones. If you just look at height and weight, it's basically 6'1", 200 pounds. That's what all their Daryl Worley, who they signed.
Al Harris clones.
Yeah, Al Harris is going to be coaching. Like Trayvon Diggs, Reggie Robinson, Maurice Kennedy, Daryl Worley, everybody that they're bringing in is the same kind of build. And there's a weird contradiction that's happening here because the thing that got me most excited about the Cowboys draft and their team building in general is when Mike McCarthy or when Will McClay told us that players over scheme.
Yeah.
If you're a good player,
scheme.
Right. And so it's a weird contradiction, but I'm okay with it. Like, yes, I want players over scheme on offense for sure. But if you've got a plan on defense and that plan involves not being the Cowboys, when you guys were talking to George Iloka, I think that quote was so money. Like, wait, you want us to show them what we're running? And the answer was yes. This is what we are. As if you, hey, Chris Richard, congratulations. Like that worked. When you had a Hall of Famer at corner on 2 Hall of Famers at safety.
Right.
Yeah, I can show you what I'm doing because Earl Thomas is back here and he's going to erase any mistake.
Right.
And Richard Sherman's going to blanket whoever and Cam Chancellor's going to snap you in half. So what are you guys going to do? And that's not today's NFL. I think the most important thing in the NFL today is adaptability. If I play different people, I do different things. I show you different things. I attack your weakness. But if part of what they want to do on defense is play more press coverage and disrupt receivers right at the beginning of the play and mess up the timing of plays and attack. And I think that's what they're going to do. I think they'll blitz more. I think they'll mix up their fronts more. I think they'll challenge receivers at the line of scrimmage more. And I'm here for it. I think that pairs well with an up-tempo offense that's invested a lot in receiver, and we're going to score points, and we might give some points up, but we're going to try to take the ball away, and we're going to try to make big plays. I like the way that lines up, and to them, big corners with long arms that can affect passing lanes and jam guys at the line of scrimmage is a part of that. So I'm okay with the contradiction of what the head coach said. They're doing it corner because I support both.
Yeah. So speaking of that, corners sliding over to the inside, the safety position. There's been a glaring need at that spot for a long time with the Cowboys. Do you think that we got enough guys that can do positional flex so we don't have to really worry about that? Or what are your thoughts on the safety situation? Safety.
Okay, because I think what's going to happen at safety is this is what's going to have to happen is safety a year from now is going to be the spot where it's like, oh, they signed one veteran there, they signed a second veteran, and there they drafted a guy in the first or second round, and there they drafted a guy in the fourth round. Because Xavier Woods last year, the deal, Clinton Dix, 1 year deal. Even if they're going to move a corner to safety, whoever it is, 1 year deal, they're all gone after this. But I do think Clinton Dix is a slight upgrade. And I know this sounds mean. Slight upgrade over Jeff Heath. I think Clinton Dix is
the Heath fans.
I just don't like his tape inside the box, though. You want to play him inside, close?
I think he's just okay.
He's a guy that can cover, but he don't tackle, and he takes the worst angles ever.
What he is, he's there. He's Green Bay's Jeff Heath. They're really glad whoever the next guy was in Green Bay to play safety, they were going to love him because he wasn't Clinton Dix. You got somebody else's Jeff Heath.
Here's my theory, though, Jeff, on the safety situation, because I'm champion. I am #1 fan for trading, Jerry Jones for Jamal Adams, right? So, give me Jamal Adams.
Trade Jerry.
I don't care. Trade anything for Jamal.
Johnny Walker Blue, baby.
However, I'm starting to come around listening to George Iloka, right? I'm starting to come around to this theory that maybe they are not looking to get a box safety. Maybe what they want to do is play super aggressive, have long corners, play aggressive on the outside the boundary. And if you're going to do that, you need to have guys that can recover. You need to have guys that can cover and can get to spots as free safety type guys. And they got two of them in Woods and in Haha. They're not great tacklers in the box. They're not box safeties, but that's how it's coming off to me because they're not putting any premium on a traditional box safety. I don't know if anybody else is noticing that, but does that theory make sense?
No, I think it's a great observation because I think you're right. I think they have two guys that are going to start at safety that are both more of a, quote, free safety.
Exactly.
Right.
And I understand it because when you think about the way that the league is going, it's more and more of a passing league. And so if you can't cover, I don't have a lot of use for you. But after watching this team last year, I think you're kind of pushing the boundaries on. If you're going to bring in guys who don't tackle well, did you not watch your defense last year?
Yeah.
You had problems there. So I would like it if my last lines of defense are sure tacklers. But I understand leaning towards what we want to do is we want to be able to cover and we want to be able to take the ball away. And they don't like strong safeties. They don't value that spot at all.
McClay doesn't.
They're just like, yeah, put Jeff Heath in there. We don't care. He's been here for how long? Has he ever been terrible? And they're like, well, yeah, a little bit. And it's like, yeah, whatever. Put him back out there.
Here's where I'll give them the benefit of the doubt with that situation is, okay, they're not going to get a box, but they're emphasizing defensive tackle now. So I'll give it to them. If you're going to give me two big boys like McCoy and Poe, I'll take it. We'll deal with it.
Yeah. Yeah, they're going to have to – there's going to be a time very, very soon where they're going to have to invest something in safety. But for now, I think they view it as the old thing that Jerry says where it's like you can't have everything. So where is this team going to be short? They're going to hope for the best in safety. And maybe – I don't know. I think – to me, moving Cheeto to safety is a really interesting idea.
Yes.
I mean, it would only be for 1 year and his contract's up. But to me, it is a really interesting idea to put everything in front of him because his back to the ball is bad news.
Dog, you been watching our show?
But
I do watch your show.
We've been saying that for how long?
But here's the thing. Wouldn't you think that would be the better move because he's coming out of his contract? You've been saying Xavier Woods is on last year of his deal.
Yeah.
HaHa Dix is on a 1 year deal. So why not do it now? See what you have, and then maybe you can extend him and say, hey, maybe you got a future safety right here, and this could be your guy.
I'm interested. I think it just depends on what does Mike Nolan think of Cheeto? Because like Chris Richard, the one thing I'll give him is that he saved Byron Jones' career.
Right.
He came in and he was like, wait, you guys drafted a first-round corner and then put him at safety? Why don't you let him try his actual position? And Byron was like, hey, I'm really good at this. And Cheeto was kind of a safety at Colorado at times where he would kind of play the slot, kind of play the box. He'd move around. But so I'm interested to see if Cheeto could be a better player if you stop asking him to turn his back to the ball. But then again, they might think if we're going to play more press man and less cover three, we're going to get less turnaround. But no, I don't like that either. I don't like putting Cheeto at the line of scrimmage because he's going to be turning his back. I think I'm in on trying Cheeto at safety because my favorite thing about this defense, what's about to happen, is everybody that had a sponsor,
right?
Your sponsor's gone. Right? Like Tristan Hill had a sponsor, Rod Marinell. Your sponsor's gone. So you might not make the team. And every year that we go to camp, I guarantee you that all three of you at the beginning of a Cowboys training camp in the last 4 or 5 years could have said, here's the 22 starters when this thing's over. And here's 50 of the 53 guys that are going to make the team. You could have done it on day one.
Yep.
Right.
That's true.
True. So true.
Who's going to start at corner and safety?
Right.
I don't know.
We all have.
I don't know.
But isn't that the good thing though, Jeff? Isn't that the good thing?
Yes.
I love the unknown because for 10 years we've known everything. I love the unknown. I want to feel like I don't know what the hell is going on, and I love that because we were so damn predictable.
Yeah, it's a real life meritocracy all of a sudden. Who's going to be the starting corners? Somebody between Trayvon Diggs, Cheeto, Jordan Lewis, Anthony Brown, Daryl Worley, Reggie Robinson. I probably named the three.
Right.
But at safety, maybe Cheeto goes and takes one of those jobs. Maybe it's Clinton Dix and Xavier Woods. Is Donovan Wilson allowed to compete here? Like, there's going to be real jobs being fought for the first time in a decade.
Let's talk about this, though. Jordan Hip Pocket Lewis. What do you think? outside corner starting.
Jordan?
Yeah, and then on top of that, think about this: they invested
Get him,
money
Jeff.
in Anthony Brown. So, how can we put this in our mind? Is Anthony Brown more valuable or valuable more than Jordan Hip Pocket Lewis? How this thing goes? Help me out.
I think it's a great debate because I, like many people, am a big Jordan Lewis fan.
Yeah, me too.
I think not only is he a fun player to watch, he's also a great social media follow, which is important.
He's very great social media follow.
Like that dude competes and that dude will tackle and that dude is not scared and you are not going to affect that dude's confidence.
No way.
But if you go by the nerd stuff, which I do like to look at,
Yes, please give it to him.
Anthony Brown has been the better player when they play.
Okay.
And Anthony Brown just got a new 3-year deal. So
We've been talking about.
what makes us think that Jordan Lewis is going to start?
I mean, we've been saying this, Jeff. We've been saying this. Like, we said this same thing in our show like a couple weeks ago. People was killing us. Like, are you hating on Jordan Lewis? You hate?
love J.
Like,
Lou.
no, we love J. Lou, but we look at reality. We seen Anthony Brown get a 3-year deal, getting $4 million per. Jordan Lewis did not get an extension. You brought in 3 free agents and drafted 2 corners. Where do I feel the confidence?
And over.
Right, and where do we feel the confidence that Jordan's going to come back? It's not an indictment on Jordan Lewis. It's just that the writing on the wall, it looks like.
I think where he has a chance is he is a little bit of a risk taker on defense. So when Anthony Brown's been hurt and he's played, he gives up plays, but he also makes plays. Force fumbles, picks. He'll get more of that than Anthony Brown. And they're talking about that stuff a lot. So maybe what we have is an actual competition between those two, because I bet they don't view the nickel corner the same way they do all these 6-foot guys on the outside. I'm sure they're going to make an exception for the slot and be like, hey, if you're tiny, you can play the slot because we got 2 5'10" guys competing for it. So he could win that job. But so far in his career, outside of injury, he's been Anthony Brown's backup, and Anthony Brown's still here.
Yeah.
So, and I don't know which one I would rather see play. Like, I like Jordan Lewis because I think people are so enamored, and I am too, with the upside of it and the potential as a playmaker. But the steadier player in their career so far has been Anthony Brown.
Yeah, because
They ain't gonna like it for that one.
Yeah, they ain't gonna like you. Get a lot of hate mail.
I know.
Hey, Jeff, did you get a chance to see all of the wide receivers we got to play this year? It's crazy. We're going to have our hands full.
It'd be nice to have Byron Jones.
Yeah.
It would be.
Yeah.
It would be.
Yeah,
Hey,
cool.
before we move on to the 3rd round pick, we got a super chat, and so when we get a super chat, I kind of want to make that precedent. So you can just quickly answer it. $2 super chat from Dale Shap. Thank you, one of our members. He says, "Ask Jeff if he thinks Dak's deal will get done." I know that's could be a long-winded question, but
Wow.
you don't have to be long-winded with it.
Yeah. That's a good
Man,
segue
is there
into
anything?
Dak.
Is there anything?
We're not going to go into Dak yet, but go ahead.
Oh, okay.
Is there
good.
anything that is worse to talk about than Dak's contract?
Right, man. It's the worst.
Because it doesn't matter. Like today, I did my video on YouTube, youtube.com/Jeff Cavanaugh.
Yes, it's right there.
My
I got you,
video.
fam. It's right below your face.
we got the plug. We got
Oh,
the plug
hell
for you.
yeah.
Yeah.
Today, my video was there's 2 truths about Dak
Thanks, Mike.
Prescott. 1, he's a top 10 quarterback. And 2, it doesn't look like the Cowboys agree with that. Because my
right.
issue is which franchise, no doubt franchise quarterback has had trouble getting a second deal.
I mean,
Which one?
Let me
Who? Drew Brees
Well-
in 05?
But
Let me say this though before you go into that.
go ahead, Law.
They put an offer on the table for him, did they? If he signs
but
that
you-
deal,
but Law.
if he signs that deal, will we be still talking about this? Is it that bad of a deal for the 5 years opposed to the 4? I'm just trying to bring some objectivity to this situation.
I can't believe you're all up in Dak's pockets. But anyway,
I was going to say something totally
Wait a
different.
minute. I'm not saying that I'm in his pockets. What I'm saying is that, hey, it's a 5-year deal on the table, right? And I'm not saying
He
that
said
should
4.
sign it,
He
but
said
he want a
4.
4.
Appreciate you,
He
E2.
want a 4.
I wonder how many other quarterbacks get treated that same way.
Exactly.
Because here's our
Well,
best
true.
offer, and you say, right, I like your offer. I need one less year. does Wentz and Goff, don't they just be like, fine, you're the quarterback. Here's your deal. Done.
Right.
And the Cowboys are playing hardball with the quarterback.
Right.
They didn't play hardball with anybody
I feel
else.
you,
Just,
Jeff.
their actions say to me, they're not scared at all at having him play on the tag. Not at all.
Oh, they're definitely not scared
but
for him to play on the
Stephen
tag.
Jones even said it when they had the interview with
Right.
Mike Florio. He was like, "Well, if it doesn't get
Florio.
done, we just see him or whatever the hell his name is."
I
don't
like
give a
that way
hell.
of saying it.
Thank you, I appreciate
Spanish.
it, Jeff.
He made him a
I don't give a
Hispanic.
hell about him.
Mike Florio.
But the fact that he came out and
Studio
when I
de
heard
Florio.
Stephen Jones say, "Hey, it is what it is. He'll just play on the tag," I'm feeling you, Jeff, because I said this last year. If this is your franchise, Jeff, where other franchise do y'all talk about in the media like, well, he's our franchise, but we got to make sure it's right for everybody? I ain't heard one team say, this is our franchise quarterback, go in there and say, but we got to make it right for everybody. They just sign him and they figure it out.
But you know what? You know what
I
it
don't
is?
care.
They don't see Dak Prescott as the face of the franchise. That's just the
I know
bottom
we
line.
know that. I said
That's
that.
all I'm saying. They don't see
We
him
know
that
that.
way.
We feel that because if
Yeah.
they did, they would have signed his ass and we would have been moved on.
It's not true.
Yeah.
To answer the
It's
super
not
chat
true.
question,
Yeah, it is.
Dude,
It is.
I'm going to say I think
ahead,
they're
Jeff.
going to get a deal done before July 15th, but I've said that before on 8 different deadlines. So when they don't, I'll just keep looking at the Cowboys like, what the hell are you doing?
Deadline make deals, baby.
Hey, Lunatic, I'll get to that question.
They didn't do it with Romo. They weren't jumping out in the media saying, well, if it's got to work right with Romo. They signed him in 17 games to a deal, and then they didn't even talk about it in the media and gave him an extension.
Okay, listen.
You know why they did that?
I don't care what
Look
you
at
tell me.
James.
No,
Because
blah, 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 blah.
No.
Man,
Hey,
blah.
you know why they
This
did
ain't-
that?
this ain't
new. Me and
James always disagree.
Before Tony Romo,
I don't care
we
if
had
I'm
Drew
difficult. I'm speaking
Bledsoe.
truth. You can say what you want, okay?
Then he
I don't care what you say.
Testaverde. We had Quincy Carter. We had
Man,
all of those quarterbacks.
Chad Hutchinson, Ryan Leaf.
I'm ending
Ryan
on
Leaf.
this.
So when they saw Tony Romo, Jerry don't like Tony Romo. He
Universe, is they gonna
Tony
let me
Romo.
get a word in
He
universe?
love him. He love
Romo
him.
was a miracle.
They gonna let me get a word in. Let me end it on this before we segue back into the draft.
Go ahead.
When Tony Romo got paid, that was Jerry Wayne Jones.
Yeah.
This is Steven's team financially now. This is how Steven operates. This does not shock me. This shouldn't shock anyone. Des Bryant, Des Bryant, Zach Martin, Ezekiel Elliott, DeMarcus Lawrence.
They all
This
got paid.
Is what
But they had to fight for it.
But they had
They
to
all
fight
got
for
paid.
Exactly, and he will get paid. He will get paid. Dak will get paid. Here's the main
Stop
issue,
talking in the media.
my opinion. Oh yeah, that's the problem. He's been doing this with all of them. Here's the main issue with Dak's contract: COVID-19. COVID-19 has pushed back all and every unofficial deadline, OTAs, mini camps, training camps. Everything has been pushed back. If there was no COVID-19, they would be feeling the heat to get Dak Prescott in camp, in my opinion.
True. I agree with everything
Maybe.
you're saying.
Oh, they would. Trust me.
I think I want to hold on. I think I'm going to challenge Skywalker here.
Challenge
real
me,
quick.
please.
Challenge. Throw the
real quick.
challenge flag.
Challenge him.
Throw the challenge
What
flag.
about the fact that they're trying to get ready with a new head coach and a new offensive scheme, and Dak is not partaking in things because you haven't gotten his deal done? Wouldn't you feel more pressure to get it done because he can't be here? He's not going to be able to work out with the team. We're trying to learn an offense on Zoom calls. And he's not even here.
And see, I could be ignorant to this situation. I don't know how what's happening with the virtual stuff, but I look at the virtual training camp or what have you right now. I don't look at that as something serious. I just don't. I feel like you
I
can't
bet
be.
that Dak is actually doing the work. Like he'll
Right.
skip and not be interacting with the coaches, but I bet you if they
But
send him
he's-
stuff, he's doing the work.
Right. So
Yeah.
so
True
I feel like
story.
physically, if this COVID wasn't here and it was a physical training camp or OTAs or what have you, that's more serious. And then we're in trouble. If Dak is not in there for that, then hey, we're looking at something, that we got to look at and say, hey, Dak's got to get there. But right now, unfortunately for Dak, really, because it has nothing to do with the team. The team is like, cool, we'll keep pushing this back as long as we can. But Dak, he doesn't have a unofficial deadline. I know July 15th, right?
But let me tell y'all this though, they better do something before Watson get his. I think that money on the table is what, $40 to $45 million for Watson.
Oh my God. Are you serious?
You think they wish they could rewind a year and give him his $28 million a year?
I mean,
yes.
But that's their
Yeah.
fault because they want to play the game and they want to be slick and they want to sit around and be thinking we're the
Steven
Dallas Cowboys, we're going to do our thing,
Jones.
and then when it comes back and smacks them in the face, they're like,
You
and
know-
it happens all the time. The thing that frustrates me, and I love it, the thing that frustrates me is you play this hardball game, but you end up paying. That's what I don't like. You play hardball with all these guys, but you end up paying. We're not trying to
It
set
will get
records
you
with
into-
with the running back position with Ezekiel Elliott. We're not trying to, but you made him the highest paid running back in the league. Stop playing the games in the media and just sign the man.
Jeff, was it true that Jerry wanted Deion Sanders and Stephen Jones said no to Deion?
I'm too young,
Oh,
but
you're too young.
I bet.
So that's what's going on. Like my guy Scott
Yeah.
Walker said,
Yeah.
it's
Steven,
Stephen Jones. Y'all can help me out in the chat box. Let me know whether or not you guys feel that it's Stephen Jones is holding the foot to the fire as it relates to Dak Prescott contract, or is it Jerry Jones? I think Jerry Jones would not park his Porsche
Fam,
outside.
Jerry
think he'll
Jones would have
park it inside
paid
the bus.
Dak
Jerry
Prescott
Jones would have
last
spent
year.
that. Yeah, he'd have spent him. He'd have been locked him up. Stephen Jones like,
I mean,
not
Jerry
so
Jones,
fast.
Apparently, Jerry Jones is the one that was asking after some games last year. Is this our guy?
Yeah,
Yeah, he did. Yeah,
Oh,
that is
well.
true.
That's all I'm
He
saying.
went through the whole organization was asking it, Jeff.
That's all I'm
Yeah.
saying.
All right,
Dak
go
is
back to the
better than
draft.
you're giving him credit for, Jerry and Steven. Just get the deal done.
I
Get her
but
done.
Man,
Get
we-
over here.
Here's my thing. Here's my thing about it. And
Last
go ahead.
one,
No.
last one, big game.
No, I ain't gonna say
Last
nothing
one.
because Jeff got to get out of here because he got to shoot people.
That's why I said last one.
All right,
No, I'm
all
good.
right.
I'm having a great
I said
time
I'm
now.
done.
He
I'm
said-
done.
he-
And
he
make
said
sure
he
you
wanna
let
stay.
the nation know he don't really mean shoot people. He's talking about
No, yeah.
Call of
yeah.
Duty.
Call of
Call of
Duty.
Duty, y'all.
COD, baby.
Called
Yeah.
Call of
Warzone.
Duty. Don't.
Yeah. I'm trying to get a game with Ocho Cinco. I'm trying to get him.
We calling Ocho Cinco out live right now. You ain't down for it.
Yeah. Come on, Ocho. Where you at,
All right,
buddy?
listen.
Ocho.
round 3. Let's. I know it's a hard segue here. I'm sorry about that, but round 3 in the NFL draft, Jeff. You talked about how Neville Gallimore was actually rated higher than Trevon Diggs, and they decided to go with the cornerback, which I think was the bigger need at the time. But the Neville Gallimore selection for me is very interesting because you have a guy who's supposed to be similar, a 3-tech, in Tristan Hill. To me, man, this says a lot about that and how they feel about him without saying anything. I mean, I don't know how you feel about him, but your little breakdown on Neville and what you think about that selection.
Yeah, I don't think they care about Tristan Hill at all. I don't think this defensive staff cares one bit about Tristan Hill. They don't care if he makes his football team. They don't care at all. That was Rod Marinelli's guy. Rod Marinelli's not here anymore. So I think what they did was that was 100%. The first round and the third round, that was the best player on their board. And so they stuck with it. They said, you know what? We've got a need on the defensive line. This is the best player on our board. They had him graded as a 1-2-0. So their grading scale is 1 is just the number that sits there all the time. But then dot and then 2-0 is the very, very, very top of the second round. And then 1-2-1 is below that. 2-2 is below that. All
They
the
were
way down
close.
to 1-3, whatever would be a third round grade. So 1-2-0 was Neville Gallimore's grade. Almost a first round grade is what they had on him. So if you're grading their process and did you pick the best player and did you make a great pick, then they made a perfect pick. I will always watch the careers of the Utah safety Terrell Burgess, and
we talked about him a lot during the
It was my draft pick, Jeff.
I'll always watch his career, and I'll watch the career of Jordan Elliott, the defensive tackle from Missouri, because those were my two favorite players available. But much like Trayvon Diggs, Neville Gallimore was right there. I think he was my third best player available. So he was their best. He was my third best. What am I going to do? Kill him for it? No. I mean, they picked a guy that I think is going to immediately be the rotational guy with Gerald McCoy as your 3-technique defensive tackle. And hopefully a year from now, he's a starting 3-technique. And I kind of view him similar to Malik Collins. I know we want to draw this picture up where every draft pick you picked is going to be a Pro Bowler, but I think Neville Gallimore's he's starting 3-technique in the NFL, and that's what he's going to be. If he can be a better run defender than Malik Collins, that would be great. If he could be a little better pass rusher, that would be great. But if he's Malik Collins, that ain't bad in the third round.
No.
So I think I think they continued their trend of picking guys off the very top of their board and guys that are going to have long NFL careers. So 3rd round pick again. Hey.
Sound like
Great
a good
pick.
deal.
Hey, Jeff, I had the reason why I made a video about Tristan Hill thinking like, you know what, he's got some talent, let's give him a chance. But guess what? I brought a guy on, Brandon Tucker. He's actually training Alden Smith right now.
Tell him about this.
And
Nugget.
he had some good stuff about Tristan Hill, and he was saying that that locker room was not feeling him all last year at all. None of the defensive players were feeling him. They're pretty much, from what I was hearing, they were shunning him. So it just goes, when you say what you just say right now, it just goes to clarification that, and he's that happy-go-lucky, just really immature. Even when I had Philip Tanner on here, and I did a behind the scenes, and I asked him, I said, Tristan Hill, I said, is he immature? He said, yes. And when I seen Gallamore's interview, where he's like, let's get it.
Yeah.
I'm ready.
He's a dog.
When he was flexing, he's like, let's get it. I'm ready. I said, well, Tristan Hill, your job gone.
Yeah.
I said, your job is gone.
That's not
because
big
this
guy.
man wants it. You two happy-go-lucky. I seen you at training camp last year. Gallimore, he wants it. And that Senior Bowl really just solidified for me.
Yeah. And Tristan's good enough to keep that job.
He's good. The attitude.
That's the good news, but they have no vested interest in it anymore. They have a vested interest in Neville Gallimore.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's not
because during training camp last year, we saw Daniel Wise. Remember that, James?
Mm-hmm.
Daniel Wise outperforming Tristan Hill. I said, well, hey, give that guy right there. He's undersized, but he's getting upfield. Put Daniel Wise in over Tristan Hill, But
Daniel Wise was a better prospect than Tristan Hill, too.
I can't believe he went undrafted.
Well, it's a Marinelli guy. It's a Marinelli guy. He's, Marinelli's no longer here. Don't be shocked if he comes calling for Tristan. We're not
there you go.
Shocked.
I mean, there's a migration from Dallas to
Las Vegas Cowboys.
Las Vegas, baby.
Las Vegas Cowboys. Of round 4, Dallas double dip. I was talking about this before the draft. I could see us double dipping that corner because we don't have a ton of cornerbacks signed after this year. And they did it perfectly, in my opinion. I thought they should double dip in the first 4 rounds at the position. And they got a guy, and be honest with you, Jeff. I know you probably looked up him. I did not know anything about Reggie Robinson. I had to go dig in after we selected him. But immediately when I saw the selection, I saw 6'1", 200 pounds, 4'4". And I hear what Al Harris said. I'm like, well, guys, we are clearly on a path of a certain type of cornerback, and it's spelling trouble for the other guys. But Reggie Robinson, man, when we made that pick, how did you feel about it?
I loved that pick too. So let's see the guys that they've picked so far. CeeDee Lamb I had as one of the top 7 players in the draft. Trayvon Diggs I had as one of the top 25 players in the draft. Neville Gallimore, one of the 50 to 60 best players in the draft. Reggie Robinson, I had him at the end of 3. So one of the 75 best players in the draft, and that's at pick 1. I don't even remember.
123.
Wow.
Okay. And so what does he do? Well, I think initially for the Cowboys, the good news is he's also a special teams demon. Reggie Robinson blocked a kick.
Kicks.
Every year he was at Tulsa, he blocked a kick. Annual tradition. I'm blocking a kick every year. And so this is just me guessing, but I don't think he's an NFL starter to open up this year. If he's won by the end of the year, I think that would be awesome for him. But what he is he's a super athletic dude that has the size they want, the length they want, and the ball production they want. He took the ball away. He made plays on the ball when it was in the air. I think he's one of those guys that's got room to grow, but we're talking about the 4th round.
Right.
I think they hope, and I hope, that a year from now, your starting corners on the outside are Trayvon Diggs and Reggie Robinson. And that would be an amazing draft if that turns out to be the case. But right now, I mean, I think, look, he's going to make the team. He's going to play special teams, and he's going to compete in camp for a chance to get snaps. And if you have an injury, then he plays. I hope, like everybody, I mean, we all play Madden. I want my draft picks to come steal people's job every year because they're more exciting. He just got here. Come steal somebody's job. I don't know that I expect that. Well, I do know that I don't expect that from him. But I think a year from now, he'll be an important part of the defense and the special teams. And I think they did it again, where it was just, you're just letting the draft happen. You just let it happen. And you watch all the names go, and you're like, "Are we up?" And they're like, "Yeah, we're up." And you're okay. Who's that name at the very top? Oh, Robinson, the corner. All right,
Boom.
call it in. Done. Like, why make it hard? We don't have to make this hard.
Well,
We don't have to flip. We don't have to scroll down 6 pages. Well, Rod really likes that Hill kid. Where's he? Well, we got 115 better players than him on the board. Yeah, but Rod, did you like that guy? Liked him, stud. All right, let's pick him. Done. Like,
We were
just-
Easy.
Jeff, we were conditioned for 10 years that kind of way, right? I mean, not all the time. We sometimes made a good pick, especially in the first round, right? Especially in 2016. If you want to go back even farther, 2005 was a great draft up and down. But we were conditioned to take a Taco, to take a Tristan Hill, to take even a Byron. Let's be
Charles
honest,
Tapper,
guys.
baby.
I love Byron
Yeah.
Jones, but Byron Jones was not a first-round pick until he did what he did, in the Underwear Olympics.
disagree with that.
I mean, well, a lot of people didn't have him there until he did that. Now, that was your guy, though. I'll give you that.
I was excited when Nelson Aguilar got picked by the Eagles that year because I had them slotted to take a corner. And when they didn't take a corner, that was like 4 or so
They
picks
coulda
ahead of
had
the
Byron.
Cowboys. And I was like, Cowboys can get Byron Jones.
Yeah. Oh,
and sure enough, he made it. Because I actually thought he had first-round tape at UConn at corner. And then the jump, I was like, oh, no. Is he moving up now? Like, are more people about to find out about this guy?
And they did.
And they did, but you still got him, and then they put him in the wrong position for 3
I was
years.
about to say, then they put him in the wrong position. But
That's Cowboys.
the point is, though, that in this draft, it seems like they didn't make things hard on themselves, like you said. They said, okay, look, Neville's still there. We need a defensive tackle for, so let's go get him. We don't care about Tristan. Oh, Reggie's still there. We don't have any cornerbacks signed after this year, so let's go get him. And then the trade with the Eagles happened. I didn't even know how to say this guy's last name, so we just called him Tyler Badass. We traded up with the Eagles, and when we took this guy, I said, God damn it, this draft is perfect. I mean, you
Right
could
there,
not ask for a better draft. You got a center from Wisconsin and Tyler Badass. He was a Remington Award winner, which is awarded to the best center in the league or in the nation. How did you feel about Tyler when he was drafted to the Cowboys?
Oh, okay. He was picked kind of where I had him. Fourth round.
Yes, 146.
And Biotish. Name is Biotish.
Bia.
Yeah, there you go.
I would
Still
never
working.
There you
get
go.
it.
We just call him Bia.
Yeah, I mean, if he earns the starting job, he can be badass. So I haven't
Gotta
seen
earn
his 2018 tape, and I'm told that his 2018 tape was better than his 2019 tape, where he was fighting some injuries. But I think he's a good player that started a lot at Wisconsin and paved the way for a lot of yards. My problem with him was, you know how Dak has got some real wide hips, strong butt, big strong butt.
That's what Broadus would say, yeah.
Biotish is a little light in the tush.
Really?
Yeah, like if you ran you remember the game where Connor Williams had to try to block Jaron Reed?
Yeah.
And Jaron Reed just threw that dude around.
And
Biotish-
Love,
Yeah,
and the guy from Love from the Panthers, his rookie year, tossed him around.
Yeah, and so like Biotish is a guy that I see as he's good at a lot of what the Cowboys ask their center to do, where I think he's a good pass protector, and I think that he's really good at the positioning. The Cowboys will ask their center to do some really tough things. Snap the ball. We're running right. There's a defensive tackle who's lined up to your right. I want you to not only snap the ball, but then I want you to beat him off the ball, get across his face, and stop him from pursuing our run play and cut him off. And that's the stuff that Biotish can do, like the really nuanced and move around. Like he's not a great athlete, but he can do the athletic things that you want an offensive lineman to do. Just a little light in the butt, gets out over his skis a little bit. But I don't, I have no idea who's starting at center.
Oh, so
Really?
week one, you're not having penciling in Joe Looney, Jumbo Joe, or is it Connor
I
McGovern?
got Joe right
Who
now.
you got?
I'm guessing McGovern.
I
But we're all,
told you.
but we're all guessing.
Looney
right?
ain't going. I'm just saying.
I
You're gonna
don't
take that
think-
spot from Looney.
I don't think I've seen enough
would
of
love
Looney
for
that I
McGovern
think he's
to
a great
start.
teammate and he's a good dude to have on your roster. Joe Looney, to me, he's not an NFL starter. So
Thank you.
Rams
Thank
game,
you.
That Rams game
Thank
scared
you.
the hell out of you, huh? That Rams
Yeah.
game in the playoff.
yeah. So what I
told
want
y'all.
to
That was
see
the
is
game.
I want
Yeah.
to see somebody take that job from him. But if you just want
Yeah,
somebody
you
who's had
definitely want to
experience,
see someone take it. Yes.
That's
Yeah.
the only game that when you really look at it, you say, "Come on, Looney." But
No,
he
but
was going against some
that ain't the
dogs, though.
only game though, Lord. That ain't the
What was
only
the other
game.
game
He
that you
is a
saw?
back. But I'm saying he is a career backup. He is
Yeah.
a career backup. He started in place of Frederick because it was a need, but you
I mean,
do
he
not
started
want him
before.
starting. He is a backup.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing with the center position right now. I personally think I would love for McGovern to take over the left guard spot. But if he can't take over the left guard spot, if it's center, so be it. You want McGovern to be the starter as somewhere. That's what you want.
drafting
You
him, he
want
gotta play.
Looney to be a backup as well. But if McGovern is not your starting center, and Tyler, how you say it, Biotish isn't ready, I think Looney is a great bridge player. You know, I'm not saying he's a great player. He's a great bridge player until one of those guys are ready. But I'm telling you, man, I would be very disappointed if McGovern can't take over one of those spots.
I hope
Yeah,
it's
because-
McGovern or Biotish.
yeah.
You always hope that a young guy takes a veteran guy's job.
Right.
That's what you do. And so
Right.
I hope that one of them wins that job.
Hey, shout out to Andrew. He donated. We got this little thing here on our channel. He donated $8.88 because of 88. We had a whole 88.
Oh, you guys
debate.
want to meet CD? Hold on. I know you're sleeping.
I know you didn't name it. I know you didn't.
I did. I named my dog CD.
Oh, 40
Ah.
burger. His
His
middle
name-
name better be 40 burger.
Yeah, CD 40 burger CD. That's yeah. I
So-
tell people it stands for cool dog or crazy dog.
I like it.
Because you got to be careful naming dogs after people. Because I don't know you don't know that person.
Yeah, one of my
Right,
buddies
right,
named
right.
his dog Dak. Yeah.
Yeah. I got a buddy who named a dog Aikman, a Luca.
Aikman.
Yeah.
Aikman. Well, shout out to you, Andrew, for the chat. He said, "What's good, fam? Great live chat tonight." Absolutely. Jeff Cavanaugh in the building, 105 through the fan. Make sure you go over to his YouTube page and subscribe if you haven't.
like all that
He's
good shit.
He is on fire over there. He gives you daily content, and he interacts with y'all. So, you know, if you got something to say,
Interaction.
write it in his comments, and he'll be talking about it right on the channel. All right, moving on to the 5th round, where I don't know if this, aside from CeeDee Lamb, may have been the best value. I mean, I'm trying to look here. It's right up there. When we took the outside linebacker, Bradley Anai. Am I saying that right?
Yeah. Bradley and I.
Anai.
The
'cause I was-
Annihilator.
and yeah, and Big Game.
Just
is
so you know,
dubbed
Jeff,
him
I called
Annihilator.
that name. So if you hear people saying it, come holler at me, Jeff. It was me.
I'll let them know. I'll
Did
let
you
'em know.
have Curtis Weaver right
appreciate
there,
you.
or you wanted Bradley, Jeff?
Was Weaver available?
I mean, that was the
right.
those were the
I don't
two.
know that he
If
was
they
available.
didn't, if they didn't
I'm gonna
get,
check because if Weaver was available, I would have wanted Weaver, unless
know
well,
that he
people were talking about
was.
his bad body.
no, Weaver went right before.
Athletic.
and
Right, a little
that's
bit before
what I
that. You had to-
said.
Yeah,
Those
Okay.
two
Was
were
available
going
in
to
the
be the
fourth.
picks.
Yeah. So Anai, I agree with the young Skywalker, and I think maybe Diggs was a better value at 51 to get a guy that some people might have seen as a first rounder, but to get Bradley and I in the 5th, I think is going to be a steal. I think Bradley and I is going to play in the league for 10 years, and I think he may be an NFL starter.
He's a dog.
13 sacks his last year at Utah, MVP of the Senior Bowl. He's just a really good player, but this is what happens in the NFL. This is what happens to like my guy Desmond King, the corner for the Chargers.
Yeah, yeah.
He gets to slide to, I believe he slid to the 3rd round, and he was a first-round player. He
Should've
just
been a
wasn't
Cowboy.
quite as fast as they wanted or as big as they wanted. So with Bradley and I, he had all the production. He's got really good tape, productive player, kicks butt at the Senior Bowl against good competition. Like there's so many things to like. And then the combine happened.
Wow.
And
Right.
at the combine, when you're 250 something pounds and you run a 4.9 and you don't run a good 3
Good.
cone, all of a sudden it's like, well, hold on now. This small-ish defensive end,
Short arms. Yeah.
smallish, doesn't have long arms, and
Right.
he doesn't test well athletically.
Not a bender. Yeah.
No, if he would have ran a 4.7 and a 7.1 3 cone and his arms were an inch longer, maybe he goes in the top 50.
Wow.
But
Some
Yeah.
people had him there anyway.
yeah, but because you didn't check all the boxes that NFL teams are looking for their prototypical defensive lineman, a really productive player who's really good on tape falls to you in the 5th round, and again, top player on the board for me. The very top, which as you're
Right.
going through hundreds of players, that stands out.
179. We were shocked. We were
Yeah.
talking about it at 123. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Right.
During the draft, we're like, all right, guys,
Yeah.
we got our receiver, we got our cornerback, we got our defensive tackle. What's next on the list? We need a pass rusher. Who's at the top of the list of the pass rushers? I mean, you had Weaver there, but Anai was there, and we were just baffled. Like, what is it? So we're doing research, and we're like, well, you know what? He tested bad, you
Yep.
know, so maybe that's what it is. And then 123, 146, and 179 comes, and boom, we finally get him. And we partied like we partied when CeeDee Lamb was drafted. I lied to you not. We were that excited because I kind of want to ask you about, I'm sorry, about the outside linebacker position. No Randy Gregory right now, Alden Smith. What are we doing with Crawford? Anai could be a guy you might rely on as a reserve. I'm not saying a starter, but at least
I think Anai, I think he's going to play defensive end. And I think he'll be – it's weird because they don't really have a Rod Marinelli prototypical right defensive end anymore where you have that freak athlete around the corner. Now, if Randy Gregory gets reinstated, you do. But if not, I think your starting ends are going to be DeMarcus Lawrence on the left. And I think Alden Smith things pending, Tyrone Crawford on the right. And I think Bradley Anai has a chance
to whoop up on Dorrance Armstrong and
Joe Jackson and
Jalen Jelks.
Yeah, the
You
competition.
think Jalen Jelks probably be practice squad again, though? Don't you
That's your
think?
boy right there.
I like him, but
I would guess. I think you got to get past. But again, this is going to be the first time in a long time where it's real open competition. Hey, Joe, if you show up and you outplay Joe Jackson and Dorrance Armstrong every day, you make the team. Yeah. And Bradley and it's you versus Dorrance versus Alden Smith versus Jackson and Jelks. And who's going to come out of this thing as the third, fourth, fifth? They're going to keep 6 defensive ends. And Anai's going to be one of them. Just a matter of where he slots in there. And I could see him as high as the third defensive end at some point this season.
Hey, Jeff, let me ask you a quiz. Remember we had talked at the very beginning of the show. This is the excitement that we want because just how you named all those defensive ends, we don't know. That's what we love because the roster seems like for so many years been predestined. No matter what you did, this was going to be the roster, like you said. Now we don't know at DN. Safety. You don't know at corner. That is the lovely feeling that I'm excited about with this whole new staff is that we're going into training camp excited to look at damn near every battle. Not, running back, obviously quarterback, but we're talking about those meaty positions that we've been eating up for so long. Now we get to see like what's going to happen.
Hey, maybe there should be an open running back competition.
Shut your mouth now, because I already know how you feel about the running backs, Jeff. That's another show. Don't do that. That's another show. That's another show, Jeff.
5.3 yards per carry.
That's another show, Jeff. That's another show, Jeff. Let it go now. Stop.
Yeah. How dare you do that?
We right here, fam. And I love you, Zeke.
I don't like your attitude.
Get your damn attitude. Get your damn act together.
Jeff, when people say crazy shit on air, this is about to drop right now.
Get your damn act together.
Sometimes.
But, okay.
But no, that ain't crazy to me.
Those need to break a tackle.
We feel you, dog, but nobody don't want to hear it. We just stay quiet. We just stay quiet on it. We plead the fifth on it. We just plead the fifth because them Zeke people come kill you.
I got my head chewed off last year. For the first 8 games, I made a video, and I said, listen, it ain't wrong to ask more from him. And he gave us a little bit more in the second half, but I wanted more. And I got my head chewed off. But
greedy. Yeah,
he was better. The second half of the year, he was better after he got in shape.
He hurt my video.
Got in shape. Yeah, Cabo's a must sucker.
He had to Skywalker had to lay into him.
Yeah, I had to tell him. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Hey, so to end the draft, which is 7th round, right? You don't really pay attention too much. But I paid attention.
Danucci.
I called him Ben Houdini at first because I didn't know how to say his last name. So Ben DiNucci. Man, he got some. This is the word I like to use. Moxie.
Ooh, that's the word I was gonna use.
Some jazz.
Give me a little Ben DiNucci, man. What you got on him?
I only know a little bit about him. I didn't have all 22 film on Ben DiNucci, but I didn't know his name when they drafted him.
Right.
That's why I called him Houdini.
I had to go find him and watch him, but he's got more juice than I thought. Like he's, I thought a guy I've never heard of. I'm gonna go turn on tape and he's gonna suck. That's what I thought. But he's got.
Just watch him. It's just something about him. When you look at him, it's just something about him.
He can run. He
be trying to truck people.
Yes, he's got a little something. I think every Cowboy that got drafted this year is going to make the team.
I agree.
Wow.
I think every one of them is going to make the team.
DiNucci right on that practice squad and let him develop.
See, I don't think
Clayton Thorson there. Clayton Thorson.
What?
I think DiNucci will make the team. Top of the board. Just bow, 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 wow. And by the way, I have to go back and look, but I think they had DiNucci as like a 5th round. I don't remember. Don't let me lie to you. I don't remember. But you basically let your head coach, my developmental quarterback, and hoping nobody claims him. Because that's what you do, right? You try to put a guy in the practice squad. That means every team's got a shot to claim him and be like, nope, we're snatching him. If your head coach likes the guy and now you have 2 extra roster spots, why not use one on a developmental quarterback?
Yeah.
Why
I mean,
not?
he's used higher picks on developmental quarterbacks in Green Bay, so, you know. I mean, he's taking.
He's a perchant for drafting the quarterbacks when you're
Yes.
thinking, like, why did he draft a quarterback and he'll draft one when you
This
don't
kid's
think
better
he
than
would?
Deshaun Kaiser.
Exactly.
Oh my
That's one of the
gosh.
guys
Oh,
right
my
there.
goodness.
That's one of
Worst
the guys right
prospect
there.
ever.
Yeah, any other things on the Nucci law or big game?
No, just I mean, like Cavanaugh said, you know, when I heard the name, I don't know, the name just kind of stood out to me and made me want to go watch him just
See, I'm
because I
Italian,
heard
so it really
I
stood
heard
out to me.
DiNucci. Then I seen him at Pitt. I'm like, okay. And then when you seen him over there at was it James Madison? Was it
James JMU,
Madison.
James Madison? I mean, like y'all said, I mean, you just see it. I don't know what it is, but when you just watch me, like, I like him. I don't know what it is. You just look at him, you like, I like him.
He's got the juice.
Got that moxie,
You just
AKA
watch him and you say, I like
He
him.
got a little swag to
Yeah,
him,
got a
too.
little jazz
He got
to
that
him.
swag. I bet you gives some good ass interviews. I bet you he does.
We got a donation question here. It says, ask Jeff if he thinks another guy from JMU, Rondell Carter, if he thinks Rondell
Yes.
Carter will play.
Rondella.
Yes.
Rondell Carter, I think he's one of those guys where you follow the money. Because if I'm remembering this right, Rondell
20
Carter got over $100,000 guaranteed.
145.
Damn, for
Yeah.
what? I thought
20
so.
guaranteed signing
Wow.
bonus.
He got
So
the
that's what I
Rico
was
Gathers
looking at, the 20 guarantee.
package play, huh?
Yeah, so he got the
Lot of
big
money.
money. I think what happened to him
Uh-huh.
is if you look at his production,
True.
oh, he's a monster. He's a monster.
Yeah.
But I don't remember off the top of my head if he wasn't invited to the combine or if he couldn't work out at the combine.
I don't think he was invited because I watched his interview with Patrick Walker and that COVID hurt him because he had his pro day scheduled and COVID happened and it canceled his pro day 2 days before his pro day.
So if you're a guy who goes to James Madison and has a bunch of production, but teams have nothing on you in terms of, well, what's around the 40 in? What's the 3 cone? What's, how long are his arms? Like, I got nothing. And I don't think he played an all-star game.
Nope.
So teams got nothing. I'm the small school guy who has good production, but teams know nothing about my athletic profile. I'm not able to go to their facilities to get to know them and try to impress them that way. And so undrafted free agent, even though should have been drafted. If he were able to go to the combine, if he were able to have a pro day and post just decent numbers, dude gets drafted. So he's another name. Throw another name in the pile, which I know there's a lot now, but there's a lot of names at D end. But I mean, if you're going to bet on an undrafted free agent, I'll bet the one who got the most money.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think it's going to be
money
tough
talks.
for those guys.
Money
on this
talks.
team. The undrafted.
That other cat, Anderson from TCU, is another guy to keep your eye on, running back.
I'm about to say
because he got a nice little bit of money too, and that's what I said. You follow the money on them undrafted free agents. When I look at the money, it's like with Mitch Hyatt last year, when they signed you for that big money, that lets me know that you're staying on the squad.
Yeah,
true that. Yeah, and this undrafted free agency, man, we always find that one gem, so he may be that guy.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely.
Watch Luther Kirk.
Stay tuned, Jeff. Stay tuned. We may have him on the show.
He might be on the show.
Really?
Yeah,
he might be on the show.
Yeah, we may get him.
Okay,
shoot,
well,
I forgot we're even live right now, so now they know here. Hey guys out there, we may get
Yeah, we live.
We didn't mean to spill the beans, but
I
it
bet
may
you guys
happen.
talked to the same person that I talked to try to set that up. But if you don't,
You
I
probably
can give you
did.
contact information to try to get him.
You probably did.
well, we're third party at this point, so
Okay.
I'm not in direct contact with his, but third party in it at this
Okay.
point. So we'll know
I
something.
can get you to his guy. I can get you to his guy.
But that'd be great. That way
Well,
we
hey,
can
do
get
that.
get it locked up.
If your guy ain't our guy, then I think we like your guy.
Okay. Okay. See what happens. We're just producing on the fly here.
Yeah, right. We're
Yeah.
just booking stuff. Hey,
But,
Yeah, that's all good.
Come
We're all
on
good.
down. Let's
hey.
do it.
Before I run these member questions here, you guys want to fire off some more to Jeff real quick? I don't want to fire these off until.
I ain't got nothing. I know he like I said, I know he want to get in this thing, so I ain't gonna hold him too much. But I just want to give a last shout out to you, Jeff.
Yeah,
You've been
man,
on
you've been
here a
awesome,
few
bro.
times. We really appreciate you, dog, for that in-depth stuff, and you always just come. Every time I hit you up, dog, you always just come through, and I just want to tell you I'm forever grateful. I appreciate it.
Well, I love you guys. I'm a fan of what you guys do, so I enjoy
you,
the
man.
show and I enjoy being a part of it.
Thank you,
Yeah,
brother.
man.
Thank
Really
you.
appreciate you. Thank you, Jeff.
Before I
man.
get
No
you
problem.
out of here, I'm gonna fire off. Just fire them off. You don't gotta go too in depth, but I'm gonna fire off these questions from my members that wanted to ask you some questions. All right, you ready?
Yep.
All right. Here's Daryl Shapp. He says, does he think Dak signs a long-term deal by July 15th or before? And how many games does he see us winning? Talk about you.
11.
11 games. Okay.
And yes.
So before July 15th. Hey, we're quick with it. Yeah, we got to be quick with it. Okay, so the
Yes,
next
and
one.
11.
Who does he see, meaning you, as the dark horse of the team? In other words, which player
that's a
does
good
he
one.
see showing a great impact on the team that we are looking over, like not paying attention to?
Gosh,
Dark
I think
horse.
that's hard. I think that's hard on this team. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go with the same guy I went with a year ago that didn't really pan out, but I still think that the potential is there for him to be really, really good. I'm going to go Xavier Woods.
Xavier Woods.
I think Jarwin's
You
too.
hanging your hat on him.
I think Jarwin's too
Yeah.
easy of a pick. Like, yeah, Jarwin's going to have 800 or 900 yards, but that's not a surprise. Witten's gone.
Right.
First question was from Shapp. The second one was from Texas Brick Cowboy. The third one is from DeLunatic. He says,
The
who does he
Lunatic.
believe is a starting left guard, center, right defensive end, and cornerbacks? He's asking you for the whole damn team.
Yeah.
Left guard, center.
Okay.
Left
Tyrone
guard,
Crawford.
center. Okay, so right defensive end is Tyrone Crawford.
Crawford.
Left guard.
Corner is impossible,
Corner,
but I'll
okay.
try in a second. Okay, well, left guard, Connor Williams, center, Connor McGovern.
And
Wow,
your, and
Connor
your corners. I know that's
Or-
tough. That's a hard one. 1 through 3 corners.
Or Connor McGovern is the left guard and Tyler Biadasz is the center. Or Joe Looney's the center. And
Tough.
okay, anyway.
It's tough.
Trayvon Diggs.
Whoa.
Ooh,
Ooh.
I agree.
Rookie.
Here's the tough part because if you pick Cheeto, I don't know. He may be moving to safety.
Right.
I'll go
Yeah.
Trayvon Diggs, Chidobe Awuzie, and Anthony Brown.
I like it.
With
Get
the
down,
wild
Brown.
card of if Cheeto is a safety, give me Daryl Worley.
That's what we're talking about. Daryl
didn't I
Worley.
say that?
We've been talking about
We
Daryl
both said
Worley.
that. Yeah. Worley. Yeah.
All right, Clifford McKinley wants to know with the addition on defensive line, does he see the D-Law getting back to double-digit sacks, and maybe also with the
Hell
pressure
yeah.
up the middle, more turnovers will occur. So D-Law back to double digits and more turnovers.
Yes and yes. I think
Yes and
D-Law could have easily had double-digit sacks last year. I think if you think that Lawrence had a bad year last year, you don't watch football right.
Exactly.
Get him.
But yes, it'll help him a lot having Tyrone Crawford back, having interior guys that the other team has to actually account for. Their defensive tackles were atrocious last year. And DeMarcus Lawrence had to deal with that. Well, if you want to find what the drives had in common when the Cowboys defense folded, go back. If you need my NFL Game Pass login, let me know. Go back and look. What they all have in common, Tank came off the field. When Tank was on the field, you stopped people. When Tank wasn't on the field, you didn't
Interesting.
stop people.
And what just Tank?
Very
They was
good
doing the
stuff.
platoon thing. We was looking like,
Yeah, because
why
nobody
is Doris
plays
Armstrong
Yeah,
in the game?
nobody plays all the snaps. So Tank plays like 60% of the snaps.
Right.
But they were doing a thing where when Tank came out, they would put in the second D line, and
The whole
second
D-line.
got
Right.
tore up.
Right. Joshua Magaha or Magahe, I always say this wrong. I'm sorry, Josh. He said, would the Cowboys be doing themselves a disservice by not letting Lamb return kicks?
Punts.
No,
not kicks.
that's too harsh. And yeah, I would go punts. I'd have
Yeah.
Pollard return kicks, and I would have CeeDee Lamb return punts. But if you want to be a coward because you don't want a great receiver to get hurt in the return
Exactly.
game,
Coward.
I do respect your opinion. I just would say, hey, you know what? Your
It's
rookie
cowardly.
year, I
It's
got
cowardly, John.
receivers. Let's see if you can go score some touchdowns.
I would love
That's
to
what
put him back
Dez
on
did,
return.
right?
I agree
Yeah.
with you, Jeff. It's cowardly. Pollard on kicks, Lamb on pumps. Period.
Free CD.
At this point, yeah.
Free CDs. Okay.
Tyrone Church is in session. He says, do
Church.
Cowboys sign a big free agent before camp?
No.
Nope.
Well, Can we live in a fantasy world where Goodell
Griffin.
says
Griffin.
where
Everson
Goodell
Griffin.
says Randy Gregory is
Oh.
not reinstated, and Alden Smith, sure, you're reinstated, but you were also suspended for a year
God.
before the last time you got kicked out of the league.
You sounded
You never
just like
really
him.
served it, and you never really served that suspension, so you're going to miss 8 games.
Oh my God.
Then might the Cowboys look around and go like, hey,
Yeah.
what do you think about signing another one? Maybe, but for now, I'll say no.
Okay.
Oh wow, you sound just like Roger.
Yeah, you
Goodell.
scared me.
It's only Everson Griffin
And we
would be the
not
only
live
guy.
in that fantasy world at all.
Hey, you not part of the J. Davy Clowney sweepstakes?
I would pick Clowney
Yeah, if we could get him for
Ooh.
cheap.
Over Griffin?
by those. Never mind. I was going to say the hairs. By a little bit. I like them both. I like them both.
sure.
Griffin, I think is the better.
I
Griffin's
just
a
feel
better
like
pass
Clowney's
rusher.
more of an injury prone. That's the reason why I lean more toward Griffin because Clowney has those.
I think you
injuries.
can get Griff on a
Age,
short deal,
yeah.
not that much, and he's just as productive.
The reason I like Clowney is because to me, Clowney is very similar to Tank, and that Clowney can wreck your run game all by himself and be a solid pass rusher. So it'd be like having 2 tanks, and that just sounds fun.
Okay. Robin Salazar says, ask about if the Cowboys are cutting Crawford to possibly getting another big name
Nope.
star.
$8
I mean,
million.
I think there might have been a time where they were thinking about that, but I think last year they watched the leadership in the room and they watched everybody that they hoped would step up and be a leader fail in that role.
Okay.
Wow.
And I think they're desperate for Tyrone Crawford.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. Last one by T Mac 1906. Do you think that Dak signs before Deshaun Watson?
I hope so.
Watson.
Man, I hope so.
Let's pray.
Woo-wee. You saw
That is
how they
right.
set the
Failure
market
for
for the tackles, right? What did that guy pay that tackle out
Oh,
there?
God. Tunsil
Oh,
got
my
like
goodness.
22 a year or
Not
something.
ridiculous.
Ow.
know
I seen that Tunsil was eating for.
Listen.
And what's so crazy is you had the gas mask on, getting blowed, and you
Oh, I
was
ain't worried about that.
eating.
Yeah.
Bill O'Brien is a dumbass.
Oh my God.
Yes,
Wow.
indeed.
And Tunsil's
Yes,
great, but like Bill
Hey,
O'Brien is just like,
Eastside.
here goes one of the best receivers in football. You get out of here. But
Yeah.
don't worry, I got an old overpaid running back back. Woo, go me.
Woo, and get caught.
Tunsil, what does the best tackle in the league make? Well, hell, how much more do you want? Take it. Take it.
How did he able to do that though?
Trade all your
$22
picks, trade your best player, pay the left tackle like a quarterback. I mean, it's just nuts.
It's crazy.
Absolutely nuts, fam. That's it for me. That's the last of the member questions. I appreciate you running through those like that, man. They were excited to ask you questions. As you can see, we got a ton of them.
All right,
we're gonna
guys.
try to keep that
Stayed
up,
over
man.
for us, man. We appreciate
Appreciate
you,
it.
dog, man. We love you for life, bro.
Man, you
Don't
yes,
forget the
indeed.
donations, guys.
Donation.
Donation.
Donation!
My God.
You heard, hey, now, hold on, Jeff, before you leave now. You heard Jeff say it, so I don't want to hear none of you
not
motherfuckers talking no trash
I'm
to
not
me,
leaving.
talking, man. There's still no donation. My dog,
Jeff.
just said donation. So shut the hell up.
I'm not leaving. I'm
can't
not
say it
leaving
like
until
that.
we get one.
You
There will
gotta-
be a donation.
No,
or I
We
won't
need
leave.
$5 hollers.
No, it's not. You're not leaving.
Holla,
this.
hollers.
I'm not leaving.
Somebody. I'll
Hey,
say-
get over on Jeff's
heard what he
page and
said.
donate too.
I got you.
Give
I'm
that
watching the
man
feed.
some money.
I'm watching the
It's not
feed.
about
Let's
me.
see the
Y'all
first
drop
person
y'all
to come in.
cash app
It's not about-
feed over
Now,
there.
how do you guys chop this up? Is this an even split?
Well, it goes. We have 3
Hell
different
to the
channels
no.
running right now.
Okay. So
We ain't splitting nothing,
This
Jeff.
is a
You get
big
that.
Dave James
You better get your dad.
Give it to
Okay.
James.
Hey,
Give it to James.
Jeff, you know you my majesty now. You know what you did for me last time, dog.
Solos.
All right, I'm out of here. Donation.
Solo.
Donation.
Donation.
My God. Hey, listen, y'all. We gonna stick around for a little bit after he gets out.
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right,
hang
we're gonna
tight
take
for
a-
few seconds.
Yeah, we're gonna take a quick break. Oh, we got one. $5 the lunatic.
$5 to Lunatic donation.
Donation.
Got one. Shout out to you,
Lunatic.
lunatic. Hey, y'all, give
I'm
us
leaving.
a few minutes here. We're gonna recalibrate everything. But thank you, Jeff, for coming on, man. Appreciate it, man. You were awesome. Hopefully we have you on again. And we
You
can
the
chop
man,
it up,
Jeff.
man.
You the man.
You a beast,
Love you,
man.
dog. Love you, dog.
Keep up the great work.
Thank
Love
you,
you,
bro.
man.
Appreciate you. Stick around. Stick around,
Salute.
nation. We will be back. Maybe we're
Solos.
taking calls. We'll
Solo.
see. We'll be right back. Time out, man. Shout out to AD for the $99.99 donation. I don't even know who AD is, but I appreciate you, man. Wow. Awesome. Awesome. Robin, thank you for the $4.99. We'll be back in a few minutes. We're setting up here. We're going to probably take some calls and keep rocking out for y'all, man. Awesome show with Jeff Cavanaugh. Stay put.
for an unforgettable experience.
Yes, indeed.
Are
Get
you
ready.
Well, we coming back.
That's good shit on the 100. Oh, good shit.
We are back from an amazing show with Jeff Cavanaugh. You guys were awesome in the chat. We're gonna finish it up on the phone lines. course, keep chatting it up with y'all in the chat box universe, as I like to call it. But man, wrong one, yeah. We good now. Now we good.
I was like that. I was like that. Don't sound right.
We in here, man. Oh man, I'm still recovering. That was great.
Hey, that was fire, man.
Yes.
You know, Yo got fire.
Yo got flame.
You know what I'm saying? And shout out to who was it that donated the $100 holler to you?
D. He didn't say anything. He just dropped the $99.99.
Those are the best
your
ones.
mind.
Those are the
As my
best
boy would say.
ones. Them is the best ones. When they just don't come out of nowhere and say, "Here, bye." So shout out to you over there.
Shout out to you. Yes.
Shout out to all the donations that have been popping this whole time.
Absolutely.
We apologize because we always like to tell you whenever we have a guest or a interview, we don't really want to shout out a lot of the hollers. No disrespect to you guys, but we want to give the interviewee, the person that we bring on, the respect and not kind of cut them off. So we didn't disrespect, but we appreciate everybody who's donated during that period of time that Jeff was on. We just want to let you know that.
Yes, indeed. So that we can get this thing going. Let me just give a shout out to those who made the donation while we was live with Jeff. Calvin Williamson, man, really appreciate you so much from the bottom of my heart. Thank you for the donation of the $10. Molly, thank you for the donation. Young Wilson, you always coming through. Thank you
Wilson.
for the donation. Sports Guru 95. That's a cold-blooded name, fam. Thank you for the donation. Cam. Whoa, Cam. I don't know if this Cam Newton, but appreciate you for the donation too, as well as Joshua Whitlock. Thank you for the donation, man. All of you guys for contributing. Yeah,
I know, right? As soon as you said that name, I threw that out there. Hey, let me give a couple of shout outs to my donations right here. Eastside Harold. Shout out to you. I love you, dog. I love how you just talk so much shit about your team, but you still donate. That's why I love you. Shout out to Jessica Haggerty. She was started on the big level. She went to the Supreme. I like that. She's more Supreme. And then we got Andrew Nunya with the $8.88 holler. He gave it to you, Will.
Yes.
I think he came over and gave me the return favor. So we appreciate you. So he said it was a great show as well for that. Also got to give a shout out to Young Wilson. You know how he do. Aloha. And we'll be in Hawaii soon. And the way we keep banging these donations, we might be quicker. And hey ho, as I just spoke, Mercedes, BMW, Porsche just became a BG James Supreme member. I'm going to get you right. Because wait till you see that interview with Jesse tomorrow.
Yes, let's plug that right quick before people start getting up out of here. But Jesse Holly, for real, because you know people started leaving.
That shit drop as quick as hell.
I forgot to tell him last time about. Well, you know what? I'm glad I forgot to tell him because Q ain't come through. Listen, fam. Y'all. Hey, by the way, I don't know if Law posted the behind the scenes about Q.
I seen that shit, dog. It's for members, bro.
But I gotta post it for the members behind the scenes, dog.
Oh my God!
Oh my God!
We had a feeling, but we ain't gonna do that to you, Q. You know what I'm saying? But
we love you, Q. Don't watch this, and we ain't no disrespect. You don't watch this and be hating.
We had a feeling.
We love you.
We didn't get the 10 and 6 Q. Put it like that.
That's all. We got the 5 and 11 Q.
5 and 11 Q. Yeah. Shout out to the Lunatic, Shap, AD. Who was the guy you said that donated $8.88? All those who donated. Robin Salazar, they donated to get their questions in. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate everybody that's in the chat. Like James said, and I want you guys to know this: when we bring on guests, we can't pull up the chat box like we want. We can't go into the chat as much as we want because we want to be respectful to the interviewee and let him or her get their takes off. So I appreciate you guys for rocking with us and holding out as much as you did. But now this is your time. This is your time to get off your takes, and the phone lines are open. That is 717-745-8898, and we already got a caller on the line.
They ready. They was in there beating. They was in there beating.
They ready.
Yes, I'm here. It's your boy Antoine. I'm back.
It's the boy. Yo, what up, Antoine? Antoine always get through, fam. What's the secret? What's the secret sauce?
I can't hear him though.
I can't hear him.
Chilling, bro. I just be chilling.
You
I
can't
don't
hear
be
him.
having nothing to do.
We can't hear the question.
You can't hear me? Can you hear me now?
I can hear you. Y'all can't hear him?
Nope.
Uh-oh, Antoine. Let me that's weird. You should be able to hear him. All right, look, Antoine.
No, go ahead. I'm gonna just turn up my phone. You good?
Yeah, I
I'll
can
just
do
turn
it
up
that
my
way.
phone. You good? Go
Okay,
ahead.
okay,
Say
go on
what
the
you got.
Yeah, say what he got to say.
Yeah, go ahead, brother.
Okay. Yeah, I'm back. All I just want to say is I'm just looking forward to this training camp. I just want training camp to come on. 'Cause
I hope
this
there is a
competition
training
needs to
camp.
happen. Yeah, I know. But like, we need it because, bro, we have so many positions that are going to be going at it. I just can't wait to say who. I just can't wait to see what our final roster is going to be. That's all.
I think it might be his line that's low.
Like we got. Hello.
Yeah, I'm here. I still hear you, brother.
Okay.
Yeah,
right.
he
Yeah,
just
I'm
talked
saying,
low
like,
too.
We got. What was I trying to say? Oh yeah, man.
Training camp.
I'm really trying to see Diggs start. Yeah, him. I'm really
I
trying to see him
think
start.
Diggs will be a starter. I can't see them spending a second round pick on him, going with the new 6'1" method, right? The 6 foot and over method. I just feel like Diggs is going to be a starter in this league.
And two, like I need to find out more about this Daniel Worley guy, that 6'4" corner that's just sitting around on our practice squad. I'm like, shouldn't he be on our roster? He's 6'4".
Oh, you mean Chris Westry?
Oh, him. Oh, that's his name. Yeah, him.
Yeah, Chris Westry was on the practice squad last year. He's about the only damn guy that Chris Richard was able to get, to fit his height and size and weight thing. So yeah, Chris Westry is on the practice squad or was on the practice squad. So we'll see what happens with Chris Westry moving forward.
Yeah. I mean, he needs to be on our team, or at least let's see what he'll do in training camp. Because I'm saying, you 6'4" playing corner. Oof.
Yeah,
no doubt.
Yeah.
Chris Westry.
All right, man. Hey, Twan, appreciate you. We're gonna try to figure out this volume thing here. The volume thing. You said you didn't hear him. Y'all still didn't hear him?
Yeah, it's not mic'd into our headsets here. Yeah, that's all that is. So they can hear, the audience can hear him, but we can't.
The audience can hear. We'll try to figure that out in the meantime, in between time. Appreciate you though, Twan.
Yeah, always.
Thank you, brother.
I like yourself. Keep doing it.
Thanks, man. Go. You want to talk about Chris? I know you made a video about Chris Westry, Big Game.
Oh, I mean, I think the thing that's going to help Chris Westry because we talked about it with Jeff. We seen the prerequisite 6'1" and up. So it's really going to help Chris. I think the really thing that's going to help him too is because honestly, when he measured in at the combine, he was 6'5" without his shoes. So he's a full 6'5" without shoes. He's a full 6'5" without shoes, running a 4.31 at the cornerback position. I mean, you know what I'm saying? You don't find those. And when you see a corner that tall, usually they have problems. I don't know if you guys remember a guy named, I believe it was Steve Smith or Sam Smith. He's like 6'3" corner. He was with Kansas City. He's a pretty good corner. Sean Smith. He was a pretty good corner, but he would always have problem with opening his hips and with them smaller receivers and the long 9 routes. He would have problems. So that's the only thing I worry about with Westry. But please, let's give this kid a chance. I want to see what he can do because you just can't throw 6'5". And when we saw me and Law see him at training camp. Right. He was bracketing Cobb. And when he can really cover you and swallow you, yes, I like it. Let's give him a chance.
Yeah,
and if he's not ready now, guess what? The practice squad is unlimited years now. So it's okay. Stash his ass back on this practice squad and keep letting him develop.
Man, please.
I didn't even know that. The new ruling where the practice squad is unlimited. That's a good feeling. That's a good thing to know there. So, yeah, let's see. You remember they're not married to these guys, so that's the only situation with that.
Hey, real quick, shout out to is it Terrell Hickney? Welcome to the Defender Members Club, man. Appreciate you joining the membership club here, and the $10 donation from Texas Bred Cowboy 83 with the $10. Thank you, brother. Appreciate you.
What up, fam? Texas Bred 83. What up with you, fam? Hey, you know what I love? I don't mean to cut you off, Skywalker. I just want to say this right quick. I love when you have memberships on all of us, and they all like, hey, I mess with Bill, I mess with Law, and I mess with Big Game. I love you.
We all have perks on the channel that you should be a part of. I mean, it's we all give you different variations of things, man. We got a call on the line, man. If you can hear us, state your name, where you're from, and we'll figure out if they can hear you or not.
Right.
Hey, Sky, how you doing? It's the Lunatic. Big Game James. Law, how you doing?
The Lunatic.
Are y'all on there? Y'all can hear him or no?
No, I can't hear him, but I'm going to flow off of you, Skywalker.
Okay. Go ahead, Lunatic. Everybody else can hear you, though.
Hey, I'll just go ahead and make my question. You guys can comment on them, or if you want to stretch them. Listen.
Okay.
I like what Jeff said about offensive line, like the corner safety. We can work those out. But Tyrone Crawford at right defensive end, just for leadership. If you listen to McCoy, I think he's going to be our defensive leader. Every interview, he's going to be our big dog for the defensive line. And
who, McCoy or Crawford?
Yeah. McCoy.
Okay.
McCoy. And just to keep Crawford around for that leadership, I'm not too sure about that because, hell, my mind exploded when he said Dell may not reinstate Gregory and he might suspend Aldon Smith for a couple of games.
He was speaking in hypotheticals. He was speaking in fantasy land. He wasn't saying that is what's going to happen. He was answering a question about Tyrone Crawford, essentially.
Yeah, but again, Goodell
scared you a little bit.
Screw us in fantasy land.
Right. What are you talking about, man? I couldn't hear him.
Let me relay.
It was a great interview. I'll hang up and I'll just listen to your topic about Tyrone Crawford there.
Appreciate you. Thank you, Lunatic, because it's difficult right now with the calls, but I appreciate you, man. So what he said, guys, was he said Jeff scared the shit out of him when he said that they may not reinstate Randy Gregory, they may not reinstate Aldon Smith, and we got to roll out Tyrone Crawford. And I said, well, what Jeff was trying to say is if the worst case scenario is that, then we'll roll with Tyrone Crawford. He's not saying specifically, but his question or statement was about basically what to do with Tyrone Crawford at right defensive end or wherever the hell you want to put him. How y'all feel about Tyrone Crawford?
Yeah.
Y'all already know my feelings about Tyrone Crawford. I don't want to keep repeating myself. I don't hate Tyrone Crawford. I liked him when he came in the league. I like what they did with him. But my thing is this: you had double hip surgery. You've had nagging injuries. I would love to still go out there and get a Everson Griffin. But here's the thing: Tyrone Crawford has been a rock the whole time he's been where. My thing is I feel better with Tyrone Crawford like I feel better with Brandon Carr. I didn't like when Brandon Carr was making $10 million, but damn it, I love Brandon Carr when he was making $5 million. You feel me? So I don't like Tyrone Crawford making $9 million, but if you drop down to $4 million, let's roll, Tyrone Crawford.
Yeah, Tyrone Crawford, like he said, Jeff was talking about the fact that the leadership that he brings to the table.
Yeah. And
I got a chance to see with my eyes myself about Tyrone Crawford and the way he just leads the team off the field. Now, he is a captain, I think, on the field as well, and people kind of listen to him. So I think that he brings that type of situation. They listen to Tyrone. So although we may like you said, Big Game James do not value him at that high level when he's making that much money, but we will like him if he break that salary down and we can keep him for a low level money,
Hell to the we love you if you dropping that bread down. I see Sean Lee used to make me mad until he took that pay cut, and I was like, all right.
Right.
Hey, we got another caller on the line. So listen, callers, for whatever reason, all the panel can't hear you. I can hear you. The nation can hear you. So you're fine. So here's what we're going to try to do to switch this thing up a little bit. If you have a question, ask the question, and I'm going to relay it to the guys, and we'll answer the question off air. If it's a statement, state your statement, and we'll talk about it off air as well. So we got a guy.
I'm calling because I love my Dak Prescott and my Dallas Cowboys, and I say I'm still rocking with the 16-0. I know everybody said this and that, but I'm staying out.
Is that Jessica?
Every year we're saying 16-0. Yes, what's up, big gang?
It's Jessica. It says it's Jessica. Thank you, Jessica, for calling in.
I told you that's my girl. Anybody? I didn't even have Skywalker. I didn't even have to hear it. All I see her loving Dak Prescott. I said that Jessica.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jessica.
She don't play with that.
Guys, I really believe. I'm looking forward for them to pay. And Big Game James, I like what you said because that is the fact. everybody is hooked on Romo. They didn't say all that when Romo kept going down. And I'm telling y'all, I was praying, y'all, that we got somebody that would come because we didn't have nobody. We had nobody. But then Dak stepped up, and Dak did not let us down. It is not his fault about the 8-8 of last year. Last year is done. This is a new year. This pandemic is going on, but I'm looking forward for a great season, guys.
Yes.
And I'm looking forward for our boys to kick butt.
Yes, indeed.
I
Yes,
can't
indeed.
stand the haters.
Hey, appreciate the call,
What
Jessica.
y'all think? How y'all feel? Because I'm looking forward for a great season.
Well, we're going to talk about
I love
it.
you guys.
Thank you. Thank you, Jessica. We'll
Go
talk
for
about it off air. Appreciate you calling in.
All right.
Have a good night. Oh, she was rambunctious. I like that.
That's
one.
Jessica. She
I like that
been
one.
rocking for 3 years, and let me tell you something. Me and Jessica don't. Now you know we people, so you can take this one.
She did have a
but
question,
we used to
though.
go back. We used to go back and forth. If I say anything bad about Dak Prescott, Skywalker, I was cut off.
Her question was pretty much how do we feel about the season? Like, what do we think about the season going into it?
10, 11 wins.
Yeah, I'm right around 11 and 12 wins for this particular season.
I am cautiously optimistic. I believe we'll have double-digit wins, but where I am most worried about per se, I have to see the defense. I have to see it. I love the philosophical shift. I've talked about this on my shows previously. I love the shift, what we're doing, being more aggressive, being more hybrid, going for the longer corners and actually literally doing that, going to get them, emphasizing turnovers, emphasizing defensive tackles. I love all that. But we got a ton of new players. We got a ton of new coaches on that side of the ball. So I just have to see it. I can't go all in with the defense just quite yet. So that's how I feel about the D, y'all. We do have a call on the line. I think Las Vegas in the building.
You know who this is?
Hey,
Vegas.
D-Shap
You
in
know
the
who
building.
this is?
What's up, D-Shap?
Hey, you already know. You know I had to call in with my big guy, my
That's
big
the
game
famo.
James and Skywalker and Law Nation on here tonight. I ain't been able to talk to you for a minute, so I had to call in and give you some love and tell you, you're always rocking them fire-ass shows. So,
Thank you.
I got to give you some love and stuff. And tell Big Game James I appreciate everything you've been doing, man. And Skywalker and Law Nation, you're always grinding and putting out that Cowboy stuff. That's why I love my Cowboys, because I listen to guys like you who are really passionate about the team.
Appreciate you, Shap. Appreciate you. You've been here from day one, man, and you continue to rock.
Day one.
We thank you for that, brother.
And Big Game James, would you? Let me ask you a question. Was you serious about getting me on the show with you guys or something like that?
He said, "Are you, James?" He said, "Are you serious about getting on the show with one of us?" I'm not really sure.
Yeah, he's Daryl. I'm gonna get with you probably tomorrow or the next day, but you're gonna be on my show next week with me.
Okay,
I got
that'd
you.
be great,
I'll get in your inbox and we'll get you scheduled.
I really appreciate that, and that's, I watch you and Law and Skywalker all the time, so nobody's ever showed me love like that, and that's one thing that I appreciate about you guys. Like my father, I don't talk about this much. He passed away about a month ago, and
oh man, I'm sorry to hear
y'all
that. His
remind
father
me
passed away.
of,
Damn, I'm sorry.
y'all remind me of the love and the appreciation that you show towards me, and having belief in me that I'm genuine with what I say and what I'm expressing to you guys, and that y'all are treating me like a person, because a lot of the times in my life, a lot of people didn't look at me the way you guys look at me as a person, as a true Cowboys fan. And there's a lot of people that talk, and say that they're true Cowboys fans, and they don't know what it really means to be a Cowboys fan. When you're a true Cowboys fan, you love, regardless, you love the Cowboys whether they're winning or losing. It does not matter at the end of the day.
You're right. You're right about that, Shap. And our condolences to your loss of your father. We're deeply saddened with that, because you're a great fan. You've been a great fan for all three of our pages, and a great fan of Cowboys Nation. So our condolences, man, and we appreciate your support, and just keep on rocking with us, and we'll keep on, rocking with you, man.
I love you guys, and I appreciate everything you guys do. Much love, guys.
Thank you, sir. Have a good night, man.
Bye. You too, sir.
Man, Shap is a good guy, man. He's a really good guy.
Very good guy. He's a very good. I mean, you see how he supports us like no other. Just like you said, Skywalker, he supports all of our channels. I love people like that, and my condolences. I lost my father over 10 years ago, so I know how that feeling is. So, just respect, and we're here for you.
Yeah, and Cowboys Nation, Shop, if this makes you feel better, man, there's a lot of people out here saying rest in peace. A lot of people, and that's what I love about our fans, our viewers are amazing because we're even when we disagree, right? Even there's rivals amongst our fans, believe it or not.
Right.
Oh, hell yeah. Competition and all that shit.
Right. Probably the only fan base that does it, right? The arguments within,
heavy. But then you have them, giving their condolences, giving their rest in peace to a guy like Shap, who's an amazing fan. So that's awesome. That brings everybody together, and this is why I love doing what we do, man. Because we're not only just giving you guys our passion and our opinions and stuff like that. We're engaging with you guys, and you're engaging with us. That shit's awesome, man.
We Cowboys family, like for real, like
DC4L,
like for real. Just what you said, Skywalker. When you say that, I mean, and once we get into the club, tend to get in, like Law said, tend to get you in. I mean, once we get in that club, I mean, and we start to getting to know each other, and we talking on an everyday basis, it becomes family, like real shit. It really becomes family.
I mean, I'm honestly, man, I'm being real. I mean, and I don't know if this is the thing, my lady done cooked up for me here, but I'm looking at this chat, and this is amazing. I mean, there are literally, we don't even. Chap doesn't know these people, and they're giving their condolences, their rest in peace pops. This is crazy. This is awesome to see here. When you got AD said this was his first time in this live feed, and he said we have a great community. He said, man, y'all got a great community. First time kicking it on a live chat. Not going to be the last.
That's what we want to hear.
Thank you, man. That's exactly what we want to do when we do these live streams, because we could just do regular videos, and we do. But when we do these live streams, man, it's to interact with you guys.
Right.
It's awesome, man.
Yeah.
We do have great stuff, man. This is great. Another caller on the line. I know y'all can't hear him, but I can. What's up, caller?
Hey, this is B Bird, man. What's going on, bro?
B Bird. Let me tell you about B Bird. One of the most insightful guys that calls into my shows. I wish you guys could hear right now, but y'all can run it back and listen. What's up, B? Go ahead.
Bring that B back.
Well, I got a statement first, man, and I got a question for all y'all. You can relay it to the fellas. But one of the things, man, I think our biggest addition is the head coach and the coaching staff. One of the things I'll just tell you about Garrett and me. I never wanted him to be the coach. I just didn't think he earned the stripes to be there. He, was at Miami as a quarterback coach for one year.
1 year, yeah.
He was made Wade Phillips. He was put on Wade Phillips. Wade Phillips didn't hire him, so he just came over here. And I just don't think that his coaching, in his resume, he had enough stops to gather enough luggage or valuable traits from each coach to come up and then put those things together. I just thought he was forced on organization and in-game adjustments are just some of the things that I've heard lately about not disguising things and other things. I think we were every week. I think we were at a negative on the sideline in the coaching department.
Every week, so, we would go into the game down coaching.
Absolutely. And you just can't do that in a salary cap league because everything is so close. So the thing is, I was going to ask y'all is this. I'm going to tell you how much I think about the acquisition of this coach and coaching staff. And one thing, too, I'm glad they didn't keep any one of the ones that was tied to the Cowboys or anything like that because the Cowboy way, this is not the 90s Cowboys way. This is the 2010 Cowboys way, and I don't really want those guys. But here's the deal. I'm going to tell you how much I think at a coaching deficit we were. If we had this staff last year, I think we're in the playoffs when we make a run.
Oh, my God.
I want to see what y'all thought. I want to see what y'all thought about that.
I love that question, B. I'm going to ask him. I'm going to ask that question. Hey, thank you for calling in, brother.
I'll talk to you later, brother. Yeah.
Peace. All right, so, guys, he said if we had this coaching staff now, he believes that we would have made the playoffs last year. If we had the coaching staff now that we have now, last year, we make the playoffs and we make a run in the playoffs. How do you guys feel?
I just want to say one thing. Imagine if we had Mike McCarthy for those 4 years with Dak Prescott.
Oh, my
That's
God.
all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say. You're saying last year, imagine if we had Mike McCarthy for Dak Prescott's whole 4 years.
Goodness.
I'm going to say this, and I'm going to give it to Law. If Dak Prescott came into the league and we saw Jason Garrett was an average coach, and I said this on one of my shows, if Dak Prescott did all this with Jason Garrett, how much better is Dak Prescott going to be with Mike McCarthy?
Yeah, I've been saying the same thing too. He's going to be a whole lot better.
Golly!
Yeah,
should be
that's
jumping
one
up
thing.
and down.
Yeah.
Hey, real
a lot
quick.
of people don't understand that part of it.
Shout out to AD again for another $99.99 donation.
Holy shit!
AD.
I see you, AD.
First time coming through the
200.
chats, and he's
200,
dropping the
holla.
bombs, man. Appreciate you, AD.
This
Appreciate
is
your
brought
support.
to you by
AD powering the show today.
Brought to you
better
by
become a
AD.
subscriber, a member.
My man. We got another caller on the line though, real quick.
Damn, I see you,
You there?
Skywalker.
Yeah, I can't hear the calls though.
Yo,
Yep, we got a caller. You there?
what up, man?
What's up? Who's this, man?
Bro, it's your boy Thurston out the third once again. You dig it?
Thurston's in the building. I wish they could hear you because I know that's your man's.
I
big
love
gang.
that damn voice, that damn country ass voice.
Man, you know it's out of Dade County representing North Dallas, you heard me?
Yes, sir.
But yeah, like first of all I wanna say rest in peace to homie Pops, you know what I'm saying? Big condolences. Like you said before, we all fam. So that's to him number one and all, you know what I'm saying? Number two is, you know, Mike McCarthy, in fact, is going to be a better than Jason Garrett. Shit.
Oh, for sure.
I can come out my house and be a fucking better coach than Jason Garrett, but that's just something else, you know what I'm saying? But, yeah, McCarthy's going to do that. Dak's going to be a better quarterback because he's going to have better quarterback coaching. He's going to have a better and more broad playbook, you know what I'm saying? Everything is going to be different. And when the offense is different, scoring points, it's going to make the defense better. So it's going to fit together like a hand and glove. Like homie said before, Jason Garrett has never been that coach, nor he never will be that coach. And yes, the Giants probably going to go 8-8 and be better than what they were last year, but they're going to go back 8-8, 8-8. As long as Jason Garrett there, we're going to know what the Giants do. They're going to run on first down. And they're going to throw some bullshit pass on third down at 10 that's only worth 5 yards, which going to make you throw your hands up and be like, what the fuck is this?
Absolutely.
But again, you know what I'm saying?
We know what Jason Garrett's going to do.
I love Thurston's voice. He's so damn country.
You know what he going to do. You know what he going to do. He going to run on first down, and on 3rd and 10, he going to throw a 5-yard pattern.
Facts.
Always. You already know what it is, man.
I love Thurston.
You already know. But I want to tell y'all boys once again, man, great job, man. All you dudes, man. I can get all my info out here because I'm right here in the hotbed of it in Dallas. But I don't listen to them bullshit motherfuckers out there, man.
We get you the real Thurston.
Yeah, y'all gonna
I
give us
love
the
you,
real,
Thurston.
man.
Your voice is just the best. You the most countryest.
I
love
appreciate you,
My
man.
God,
But
brother.
like I said, bro, y'all gonna give us the real. The rest of them motherfuckers gonna give us that fuck shit, man, and I appreciate y'all for that.
Man.
Y'all don't kiss no ass.
No.
Y'all not up Jerry Jones's ass. And what's right is right and what's wrong is wrong, and y'all gonna stand on that. Y'all some real dudes. And I appreciate y'all for standing on what y'all standing on, for real.
My man. Appreciate you, man. Thank you, man, for calling in and rocking with us, and keep bringing that real too. You bring it too.
Man, I appreciate y'all, man. Y'all have a good night, man. Enjoy.
You too, brother. Yeah, Thurston was basically just talking about I keep on running to that one. Was talking about Jason Garrett and how we know what he's going to do in New York, and what he was. He never was, that guy here in Dallas. And
Right.
It was actually an interesting question statement kind of I want to get to here. Let me run that back. Somebody said, what about when Jason Garrett won Coach of the Year? Shout out to you, Robin. What about when Jason Garrett won Coach of the Year? Was he really that bad? Just a thought. Tony Bryce.
Well, here's the thing. Now, I do know that there are a few I guess Jason Garrett's apologists out there, but he been out here for 13 years collectively. And even when he won Coach of the Year, it was the same media that was kind of pumping that up, because when you really look at it, just like Big Game James said for many of years, did you really Did you really think that we was gonna win it?
No.
Never. Nobody ever
coach of
thought
the
we.
year. James, he won coach of the year because Dak won 13-3.
Yeah, we all know that. They just gave it to him because we were 13-3. We had Zeke, Elliott, Dak. They were all rookies, and it was the feel-good damn story. If you ask anybody in their damn heart, is Jason Garrett the coach of the year? They'll say, hell to the no.
T-Mac. Hey, T-Mac, T-Mac got a request for you, Law.
Talk to him.
He said, hit that Jason Garrett voice one time.
How you doing, guys? Sound just like him, man, because I just hear it. And I'm just so glad that this year, 2020, we don't have to hear it until we play the Giants, because that's what he's going to do in that particular press conference.
And guess what he said, though, Law? Guess what he said? Guess they said over at Giant Land, they're going to run the same scheme they ran over in Dallas.
Yeah, run first. But here's the thing. 8-8 for them is good for them. Although they won multiple Super Bowls in the last decade or what have you, but 8-8 on a consistent level is good for them.
But Jason Garrett, he ain't the head coach over there. He the offense coach.
He's gonna run circles around that young bull over there.
Joe Judge.
Yeah, he's gonna run circles around. He's way smarter than that guy. Jason Garrett is gonna circumvent that thing just like he did with Wade. And he's going to eventually.
Oh, he's going to sabotage Joe Judge.
Oh, I can see it already.
He going to say, hey, T.O. said he'd be sabotage. Hey, did y'all, I just want to real quick, did y'all see that interview with Bobby Bell and Jane and T.O.?
I have not watched it.
I haven't watched
Go watch it. It's explosive. It's fire. And I know a lot of people hate on T.O. because his mouth and stuff. But if you really, and he gets on my nerves too with the mouth, but he does say a lot of real shit though. Yes. He does say a lot of truths. Whether you like him or not, he says truths. And when he was talking about, he was saying this then. And I believe him when he was saying with Garrett, he said we was coming to the line of scrimmage in 07, 08, and them teams was calling out our plays then.
Remember, what was it, against the Ravens after the game? I think it was Ed Reed and Ray Lewis was like, yeah, man, we knew they was going to run.
I mean, you get what I'm saying? And he's saying, and just like when we talk about the best coaches, when I heard T.O., he said, this is a league that defensive coordinators understand the game. They watch film too.
Yeah.
And if they see you do something 1 week, they're going to change up and do something. So it has to be a week-to-week preparation, not the scheme that we saw with Jason Garrett. And even when we had George Iocca, when he's saying with Chris Richard, too many times we saw that don't matter what you do. This is what we're going to do, and we're going to stay with it. And that stubbornness has hurt the Cowboys, and hopefully we have moved past that crap, and we can move on to bigger and better things.
So you're saying, Law, when Joe Judge goes to his press conference, JG going to come up there and push him out and say what?
How you doing, guys?
We got Carlo on the line, man. What's up? State your name. Where you from?
This is Mark Felix from New York.
Hey, what's up, Mark? Mark, you've been in the community here lately, man. Appreciate your support, brother. What's up, man?
Absolutely. I just wanted to mention that as far as the content that you guys are providing between you, Big Game James, and Law Nation with the videos and everything, it's really amazing.
Thank you.
So I really appreciate it. Especially in this time with COVID and, everyone being home and kind of just looking for a nice diversion, it really helps out a lot.
Thank you, man.
I just want to say that. Now, I wanted to mention about the whole thing with last year, right, with Garrett, the fact that in the latter part of the year, when they were losing, I mean, I'm a diehard Cowboys fan going back to like the early 80s. With Danny White, Tony Dorsett, Ed Too Tall Jones, all of that. So when I reached a point where I was actually saying, if they lose, I'm not going to be mad because I know that they would get rid of Garrett. Good guy, but he just wasn't. It just wasn't working for the team. So,
hey, Mark, wasn't it one of those things where you were like, okay, if we win, playoff games, great. If we lose, great, because we'll get rid of Garrett. It was like win-win for Cowboy fans.
Exactly. That was exactly my viewpoint. So I think that right now where we're at, we're in a good place. We talked a couple of weeks ago about the adaptability that this team is going to bring. the fact that they'll have the ability to, if we want to play smash mouth against a team, want to run them, run it down their throats, we could do that. If we want to go high flying, we could do that. So basically, it's pick your poison with any team in the league that we could play against. So I'm really, really looking forward to that. Now, one question I did have, though, that I haven't heard people bring up too much is the whole aspect of empty stadiums.
Okay.
Now, you know how football basically it's a game for TV, but at the same time, when you're at the stadium, there's a feeling that you get when you have 90,000, 100,000 people screaming and yelling. What kind of impact do you think that's going to have on the games? Because I'm thinking that, yes, they're all professionals, but could that maybe even the playing field a little bit as far as like eliminating home field advantage? Because, if you're going up to Seattle, everyone's talking about the 12th
There's
man.
no 12.
Guess what? There's no 12. KC, Baltimore, all those places. So what do we think about that?
Yeah, I'll hang up here and I'll ask the panel that, okay?
No doubt.
All right, man. Appreciate you, Mark.
Thanks, man.
Hey, he has some good things to say about us. First, he said the content's been amazing. He really appreciates it, especially during this, the COVID situation. So I want to relay that to you guys. He appreciates all of our content. And then he talks about the question is the empty stadiums and the impact that it will have on the games. Do we believe that it will pretty much even out the teams? And his example was, when you go up to Seattle for the 12th man, there is no 12th man. So if we have to play games in an empty stadium, how do you guys feel about that?
Go ahead, Law.
I just don't feel like this will go forward because if it's no fanfare, of course, we know the TV revenue is high. Nevertheless, there would still be people with issues and problems of sitting there saying that maybe my daughter have COVID or maybe my auntie have COVID. How can I be on this road thinking about playing football when I have family members with this particular ailment? So I don't know. I just think that we need to come down with a solution, maybe a vaccine, or maybe when we create or get herd immunity, maybe we can start this league off from there. I just don't think that the fans not being able to be at the games would be a good look for this football organization.
It wouldn't for the NFL. It's
for the NFL, yeah.
It's going to be too hard, man. I mean, all that money. I mean, it's like the slippery slope because we're riding into the unknown. You get what I'm saying? Like we don't know. You know what I mean? Like I'm out here in Columbus, Ohio, and Friday they're opening up everything. Monday, I think everything will be officially open, right, Boothang? Everything's gonna be officially open out here. So, but even then, you're still like nervous because you don't know. You know what I'm saying? Even though they're opening, it's still out there. People are still dying. You wonder, well, damn. Even if I take precautions, how can this be? How can you feel safe? Something happening. So they said, the Surgeon General, I can't remember. He was saying that, the biggest thing that they don't want to have is the football games because with fans there is because that's going to where the outbreak is spreading. So, man, it's just going to be really tough, man. If they have football games, because they were talking about baseball was going to have some games where they don't have the fans. So that's just going to be a weird situation, but it just might be this year that it just might happen.
Yeah. And then on top of that, just to piggyback off of what you're saying, fans are fans for a reason. It's short for fanatics. So you mean to tell me you're going to stop thousands and thousands of people to not show up at a stadium? Look, people not going to sit at the home when they know for sure Dallas Cowboys are playing down there at Arlington Stadium. They're going to tailgate. They're going to rally. They're going to all be around that stadium. So it's not a good look. And it's going to be a lot of looting. It's going to be a lot of people just hanging around, and really they're going to be upset for not being able to go in. And knowing that it's a game, and you know how football is, if their team is down by 3 points and they think that they can yell and scream and just to be a difference maker, they might bum rush the stadium, So I'm thinking of all of those things, which I think that somebody should be educated and wise and smart enough to bring up that as a possibility.
Hey,
Well,
you know, one other thing. I'm my fault, Skywalker. Go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say I agree here with John Jones. He said let's just be careful as we can. Everybody, let's just be careful as we can. We will get through this. Just like everything else we've done in this country and in the world. Period. We will get through it at some point. Don't know when, but I remain positive about the situation. I understand there's a lot of negatives going around the country, around the world with it, but I think we will get through it. When, I don't know, and I'm hoping it doesn't affect the game too much. But if we have to wait a few months, man, so be it. I'm good with it.
True. I mean, I'm good with it too. Just like I said, man, it's just a weird situation, NBA, Major League Baseball, just all this stuff is kind of crazy. How everything is going just with this COVID, and like I said, I just pray everything gonna be all right. But I was watching, I seen the UFC and they had their matches, and I was listening to, remember when Greg Hardy used to play with the Cowboys?
Yeah, he had a match.
It was just weird what he said, that he said there was no crowd there. So since there was no crowd there, how he won was he was able to listen to the announcers. Not obviously the NFL players can't do that, but he said when he was fighting, he was going through the fight. But since there was no crowd, he could hear Daniel Cormier and them telling them what he needed to do to win this fight. And so he was listening while he was fighting. And Cormier was like, hey, he needs to do this. He needs to do this. He said he switched up the style, listened to what Cormier said, and he beat him.
Wow, that's very interesting.
That's wild, right? And I don't want to hear no players. If there's no fans there, don't cry about nobody saying that they booed you.
Yeah, but people, they're gonna try to rally, and they're gonna be all out there on them stadiums, and they're gonna figure out a way to get in.
Shout out to Dwayne Wright. He said, I appreciate you guys. Y'all appreciate y'all fans. Actually, look at the comments. Salute to y'all for Dak and his, and prayers up for Dak and his family, as well as Pops. Yes. I think he's talking about Shap's Pops. So
yeah, definitely for Shaq's Pops. And make sure you get in my inbox, Daryl, so we can make that happen. And one quick shout out for, and you guys do this, but I came out there, jumped out there. I said, I need a $20 holler right now. One. Right. I said, I need a $20 damn holler right now. And my girl, Jessica, who's my people, said, there you go, big game. I love you for life.
Hey, the phone line. We're done with the phone lines, though, panel. I didn't get that out there, guys. The phone lines.
Oh, sorry. I was wondering why I got quiet.
Yeah. No, I just because I didn't want to take too many where you guys couldn't hear, and I don't know how that quirky, weird stuff happened, but we'll figure it out next time.
You did a great job though, relaying it to us.
I was trying. Appreciate it. Hopefully next time, y'all can hear it all. But man, we was rocking. E2, what's up, E2 Blue? We got to get him.
E2 Blue? Yeah. That's my peoples.
E2 said, man, I got to get on this panel. I hit him in the chat. I said, listen, hit us up. Hit one of us.
E2
whoever, I don't matter. Hit one of us up.
Let's pump the brakes a little bit, because AD is spreading the wealth.
Wow.
AD over there?
He dropped a $9.99 for your mind over here.
There you go. Okay, now AD. Now don't do that. You know I'm coming. I'm coming, right?
Hold on.
I'm coming. Hold on. AD.
Wait, be quiet. Hey, this is what AD said. He said, hey, bro, keep it quiet. Wife ain't feeling these donations, right?
Oh, okay. All right. I got you. Okay. I know. I'll be quiet, but before I be quiet, I'm going to say, come on over here. There's a 3-man panel. You hit 2.
Wifey about to wake up and see that credit card and say,
what the hell is even that?
What the hell, AD?
I tell you what, this is what we got to do for AD.
Yeah, hit us up.
The next live stream tomorrow, I want his logo, his AD logo somewhere.
Sorry, Josh.
Fixed on the screen somewhere and say,
I got
sponsored by.
I'm gonna hit up my boy, and we gonna get an AD. See, if you're a member of my channel, I got all these. Y'all little logo things waiting for y'all. Y'all gotta email me, but I'll get one for you, AD, man. That's that's love, brother.
Yeah.
Cowboy Mike said
right beside the microphone. Appreciate you, AD.
Cowboy Mike said AD got a bigger yacht than Jerry Jones. But listen, we gonna stop talking about you because we don't want the wifey to get mad, brother. We don't want the wifey to get mad.
Just tell her don't push replay.
We just appreciate you, brother. We just appreciate you. Yeah, so like I said, I ended the lines. Hopefully we get that fixed, y'all. But E2, back to E2, bro. We got to get him on E2 Blue. Make sure you go over to his channel, man.
Please support him.
He keeps it real too. That's another brother that keeps it
super real. And he played football. He played the game. This is a guy that's actually played football. high school, college. He's played the game. I had him on my show about a month and a half ago. We had a ridiculous show. It was great. It was awesome.
Yeah, no, I was in that
Blue.
joke.
I love E2. He's a great man, humble heart. And let's just keep on uplifting him every single day. And yeah, we're definitely gonna make that happen with us jumping on that panel because E.T. Blue, I love him.
Yeah, if you still DJing E2, hit me, man. I used to do the little hosting, you know. That's why if you listen to the beginning of the show, I come on there, you know, I got a little flavor to it. So hit me up, E2. We could work on a little mixtape.
Right.
The Skywalker field. Was the Skywalker still with the new field? That's what we're gonna call the mixtape.
There it is.
That's what we got.
All right, man. Parting shots though. Before we get up out of here. Shouts outs and where they can find you and all that.
Oh yeah, Nation. Y'all.
No, let me go before you, Law, because I can't.
Lord have us on this show for 5 more minutes.
Before he went ham, I said, let me get mine off because I can't never top him. So let me get mine off and let him be the ending of it.
You are
okay?
smart, big guy.
Shout out to Rock Lee for the $199. Holler before I say anything. He said my Hawks secondary is going to clamp Amari 12 man or not. Okay.
What about CD? What about Gallup? Whatever though.
Here's another. Oh my goodness. His wife knows now.
Hey, D, I love you, babe. I feel bad for you if your wife knows what's going on, but I love you. Appreciate these. Oh my God. We sure.
I ain't got nothing else to say.
We sure this AD don't stand for Anthony Davis from the Lakers?
Anthony Davis from the Lakers. He got them big checks. He just send it to us.
Hey, Martin said, "Hey, Skywalker might be Laker Nation Anthony Davis. Real rap. That might be Anthony Davis.
We'll take it.
Hey, Josh.
we love you, big baller. Shot
caller.
caller. 28 blade on the Impala.
This is what we do on
Getting
this.
favorite.
This is what we do. If y'all rock with the late night hype, where
On
y'all
the
get this?
highway. No, flyway.
Better
way.
Waterville baller.
Hey, Tula, let me go dig in my bag right quick. Hey, but listen, go ahead, get your AD out. I got a couple other donations we want to get out to. All right, real quick, shout out to Robin. He says, ask Law to do the Jason Garrett one more time.
Trademark.
Jason Garrett, come on. How you doing, guys? And then he be smiling. I was like, Jason, why are you smiling? We just lost by 20 points. We just lost the freaking playoff game. And the first thing he said against the LA Rams when we lost that
Cowboys Martin says,
hey, real quick for my man Josh, man, shout out to you. This is great, man. $5 donation from Josh. He said, off the strength that I appreciate y'all. My son and wife are finally coming home tomorrow after a month in the hospital. Y'all have helped bring me through. Man, that is huge, brother.
Damn.
That is huge. First
wow,
of all,
bro, like
that is huge, man.
And that just gave me chills, and I ain't even on no BS.
I know.
That just gave me
huge.
chills.
That's huge. Everybody, Cowboys Nation,
Wow.
you know,
Yeah.
prayers
I love
up
it.
to Josh,
Man.
Josh's family, his wife, and his son, I believe it was, coming home. That's awesome. I hope
that
they,
means a
if
lot,
it's from COVID, I hope
That's
they're
deep.
recovering. And the fact that we've helped you get through, man,
that makes me want to push even harder. Make me want to go study and watch film all damn night and shit. Thank you, man.
You about to. I got a project coming up that you about to make me get in the lab right now, man.
Wow,
got a project coming up. Make sure y'all.
That's humbling.
Wow,
that's very humbling.
Man, amazing.
Real talk.
Amazing. And I hope everything is good with your your family, your wife, and your son. That's amazing. They're coming home. I know how that feels. I've been there before.
Hell yeah. Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Awesome, brother. Awesome.
That left me speechless.
Yeah.
And I don't. And you know I like to talk.
Yeah.
Well, I mean interrupt Skywalker, but
no.
See, I knew that was coming, Skywalker. I knew you was gonna get me like that.
And you done with your outros, man, because we know Law got about 5 minutes worth. So
I'm done.
Okay.
I ain't got nothing to say. This is Silver Blue Nation.
Every single last one of them, Lord, because you never know
my
who's
goodness.
listening.
This dude got 1,700.
You never know who's listening.
You never know, man. But I really appreciate everybody, man. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, MySpace, Black Planet. I'm just playing with that. Twitter and Twitch.
Oh, I thought it was for real.
Just type in LAWS Nation. You should see my name, a face or logo, as well as I'm on Roku TV, LAW Nation TV. So when you pull that up, you'll see that on the Fire Stick as well as the TV. So this episode will be on your Fire Stick TV.
Yes,
so
and I've watched it.
Yeah, don't it look crisp
It look
on that
crisp.
thing?
Crispy.
I got the Fire Stick. So that's all I watched. And Law Nation is like the third in my little thing because I be clicking on it like, let me just live that. What it look like on the TV? And it looked good.
And remember,
you're listening to nothing. All of that stuff.
And remember.
I know people don't like commercials and things like that. That do help support the channel. But when you're watching it on the Fire Stick TV, do you see any commercials pop up?
No commercials.
Nope. So that's a good way to support the nation there. Commercial free, Fire Stick TV, Law Nation TV. All of our stuff is there, man. I really appreciate everybody for tuning in. Also, to support the nation, of course, the link will be in the description box. Just hit up those spots, man. We on what it is, PayPal, Cash App, man, beyond. But I really appreciate you, and shout out to you again for all of those who watched this channel and gave the donation. Really appreciate you guys for your love and adulations. That's been my time.
I want to say one last thing. Cowboys Marty said, breaking news, AD paid for the new Corona stimulus package.
Yo, man.
I really appreciate
I'd say it all the time, man. We got some funny ass
man.
fans, yo.
I freaking love you.
I told you we going to do a segment where we let them just rip on us.
That's cool.
But
I'm worried because when I smile my teeth, I know they're going to get me.
I know they get me all the time. They say,
get me with my teeth.
They came, man. What was they saying about me last time about
your hairline?
8th grade locker room. They talk about going thinning out.
I know they're going to tear up my teeth. They're going to get at my teeth.
Oh,
and
real
they're going to
quick.
say I look like Dave Chappelle.
Shout out to B-Bird.
But I will say this, though.
Go ahead.
All of this stuff that you guys looking at, this beautiful production, I don't think that none of us making $10 million like Stephen A. Smith. And I'm not trying to count that man's paper. I think none of us making the Skip Baylesses and the Shay Sharps money-wise, remuneration for the nationwide. Nevertheless, we are bringing you guys raw, real, uncut, unfiltered, real, true questionings out here, and we're not sugarcoating anything. And there's no hidden agenda or narrative that we try to fixate and put out there to the nation to hear. All we doing is putting out what's on our mind and our mental, the way you guys really want it, you see. So I love the fact that you guys are able to tune into this show and help elevate this thing, because right now, what we had close to 500-600 people in here.
No, we had 800, close to 900, I believe.
900 people in here collectively watching on all of these platforms.
Yeah.
Look, I know that people are missing out because I know that it could be 4,000 people watching right about now. They just don't know where to go
about us yet.
So y'all share this thing. That's the best thing you guys can do for the nation is hit that share button. There's a thumb up button. Press it. Press it so much that it breaks on the computer screen. Just keep pressing it, because when you guys like that thing, it does something weird, you see. It does. So let's continue to grind. Let's continue to grow. Go ahead, man.
I love you, Law.
Sheila said,
I start preaching over here.
Sheila said, you guys have great chemistry with each other. It was great. Keep up the good work. Yeah, man. We family, bro.
Yeah.
We family.
I forgot. Shout out to all of my Facebook people over here, man.
Oh,
Toby.
yeah.
Toby always make sure we don't forget about him.
Tony.
I love some Toby.
Yeah. Appreciate you, Tony.
Hey, B-Bird with the $10 donation. He said, I'm waiting on that Zoom, Sky. Yeah, so my members, I'm trying to figure out how I want to do it, but we are going to be doing member-only Zoom chats where we just all get in there and we just chat it up about the Cowboys, man. No filter. It's not live. It's just us just chatting it up. All right, so I'll get that. Y'all stay tuned. And Law is a genius. Came up with something for the members. I can't be too specific because I ain't trying to have the Illuminati, the YouTube Illuminati. But I'm telling you, come season's time,
Y'all ain't ready for
Oh
this.
my gosh,
We're
man.
going to play the song like, y'all ready for this? Dun, 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 dun.
I'm going to say, come season's
Jay
time,
Farr,
make
what's
sure you
good?
a member somewhere on these channels.
Yeah.
Because it's going to be popping during the games for these watch parties. You will be watching what we're doing. See what I did there?
Oh, yeah.
See what I did there? So shout out to you, big brother.
Hey, Dan Lee says you are better than those idiots. Y'all don't have to push narratives and based on ratings and profits.
Exactly.
There it is.
Mhm.
It's Cowboys.
Yep,
Exactly.
yep. We don't do none of that race bait.
Hey,
and stuff,
Cowboys
none of that
Marty,
stuff.
I
That's
ain't
what
gonna
I'm talking
be.
about.
I ain't beefing with Jesse. I love Jesse. He said me and him were gonna be going at it because he opinion. Yeah, hey, I got. He's gonna be backstage pass from my
Yeah,
members,
tomorrow.
so I gotta be nice.
He in there tomorrow. So yeah, y'all. Before we head out, Jesse Holly is in tomorrow. I believe the big game's at 8:00 Eastern, 7 Central. Is that right? Big game.
Oh yes, I'm sorry. 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern.
Okay, so 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central. Jesse Holly, host of the Hanging with the Boys podcast on DallasCowboys.com, former player for the Dallas Cowboys who caught that miraculous almost touchdown pass in overtime against the Niners. He will be in the building tomorrow. So right after Jeff Cavanaugh, and y'all know how Jesse is. Y'all know how Jesse is. I don't know how. We'll see what happens when he's here, but what we like to do is let our guests, do their thing, and we push back. You know how I am. If y'all watch the show, y'all know I push back. If we got to push back, we push back. But we're going to let Jesse get his takes off. Very opinionated guy, very smart guy, very football smart, and that's what we want. And he's real. Keeps it real. Whether you like his opinion or not, he ain't going to sugarcoat it.
And yeah, and then when I talked to him actually today, he told me, he said, he went over our review, and he said, I like it, and he said, he's going to answer those questions, and really good. But we also have to understand that he does still have some connections with those Cowboys.
Yeah,
he's
he
on
still
with
work for him.
He still works for them. He's hanging with the boys. So y'all have to
AJ.
understand, Jesse keeps it real, but he still works with the Cowboys in some form. So maybe some things he may not be able to say because of that, and we have to honor that and respect that.
Hey, Jay, Jay Farm, I noticed that as well, man. Since the COVID has happened, the podcast on DC have been spotty. They've been a bit spotty. So, but that's why you got us. That's why you got us. That's why you got
We
us.
bring him. I mean, I'm gonna just say this one last thing, Skywalker and Law, but and this is to my passionate
Ollie's
plea to
coming
all
on
the
tomorrow.
fans that look, I ain't hating, but where you getting this at anywhere else on the underground?
George,
That's all.
Tanner,
Where you getting? We got
Deanna Dix.
Tanner. I mean,
Patrick
and I done
Kahn.
brought in Q. We gonna
Q.
keep coming with them. I mean, we done brought tons and tons of people. Where are you getting this anywhere else, y'all? This is the underground. We ain't just talking about Cowboys. We going out there and getting you Cowboys. We getting you the top people in media. We getting you football players. We just had Tanner, who was actual coach in the locker room.
I'm surprised. Honestly, I know George's stuff went viral. I'm shocked. Tanner
Gave us so much damn meat.
If one of
you
those
better go back and listen to that damn interview. Tanner gave us so much meat on the bone. You better go check it out.
If Warren Sharp,
because he was actually there. He was actually there.
He was there in the locker room last year. He was a special teams coach.
Man, he said some stuff, player.
And he said real shit. He actually, and when all y'all was talking about why the hell Tavon Austin did this in this Minnesota game, he told you.
Yeah, he was saying.
I mean, we bring the real over here, y'all. Where are y'all getting this anywhere else? Now, we not saying, hey, we're not hating on no other channels out there. That's not at all. But all we're saying is this: we brought this 3-man crew to bring y'all the fire and the flame and the yoga, fire and flame. So we're gonna continue to keep on making this hot.
Indeed.
We ain't gonna just talk about Cowboys football. We bringing you Cowboys football, and to me, that's the mother sucking difference.
I dropped the bomb on that one. That clue bomb. All right, man. That's it for me, man. Shout out to everybody, like everybody in the chat, everybody in the comments. I think we hit about 2,000 comments in this thing, man. Y'all were killing it. Jeff was amazing. Tomorrow we have Jesse Holly. Appreciate all the donations, all the members, subscribers, everybody chatting it up. Wow, I mean, every time I get off of these things, I'm just more and more impressed with y'all out there, man. Y'all are amazing, man. I'm all wrapped out. we won live today, man. Appreciate you though. On behalf of Big Game, Law Nation, Skywalker Still. We out.
Yeah. Oh, shout out to my guy, Ron Humford over at Silver Blue Nation. Keep it holding it down, baby. I want to make sure I gave you a shout out.
Shout out to the mods, too. Stevie Mack and everybody.
We them
Shout out to the
boys.
mods.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Remember, you're listening to nothing but the best.
Salute.